Howdy ho, chickadees. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Chickadee Coop. Oh, it's been a day, hasn't it? I don't know if y'all been watching Corey Richens' trial, but wow, some things popped off at the end of the day is from what I understand. Somebody got booted from the gallery because they were sketching the jury? Are they new to this whole trial business? You can't do things like that. Yeah. So I'm still going to be watching Little Miss Corey in that trial, but we have to get into Dale Warner tonight. There's a lot to cover. This testimony today was over 4 hours. We are not going to be able to get through all of it tonight. Ms. Demeanor has to get some beauty sleep because she's got that pesky day job. And I have to go there tomorrow. So we will get as far as we can. There is court tomorrow. I don't know if there's court on Monday. So we'll be fluid on what we're doing either tomorrow night. I'm sorry, either Saturday morning or Monday evening. It's going to depend on what the judge tells us at the end of the day tomorrow, as far as scheduling is concerned. So if you are new here, hit the like button and leave your DNA there for me, please. The little thumbs up, smack that. Woo! Is it Friday yet? And you can subscribe to my channel. You can become a member if you'd like also. It doesn't cost anything to be a subscriber. And when we get enough members, we will be doing some members only live streams. So get your notifications turned on so you know when I go live and you don't miss anything then. You don't want to miss anything that Ms. Demeanor has. I want to give a special shout out and thank you this evening to Mr. Bob Mata on Defense Diaries. He gave me such a lovely recognition or plug on his channel this morning before Corey Richens, because of course that's where I was to watch everything that went down today. And so I do so thank Defense Diaries and Bob Mata for that. It is much appreciated. They are tremendous friends of mine as well, and I am happy to be associated with them. So let's get into some things. We're without our Maud Kelly tonight. She had other plans. She had real life. How dare she? But hello, Jillian. Thank you so much for popping back in tonight. And Serenity is with us again as well. So I do thank you all. Chat away. It looks like YouTube's going to play nice tonight. Let's hope. And we can get right into things. I'm going to probably put the speed at 1.25 so we can cover a little bit more in 3 hours time than we normally would. Are y'all ready? I know it's like not even 5 minutes into the stream and I'm like, let's get into it, but we need to get into it. Let's do it. All righty. Here we go. I'll start at 125. If we need to go faster than that, then we will.
Call Trooper Jack Taff.
We got Trooper Jack coming up.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty for perjury. Yes. Thank you for doing this.
Morning.
Morning.
Please tell us your name and spell it for the record.
Jack Taff, Jacktaff.
Okay. And I need to speak up just a little bit. Great. Where do you work?
Michigan State Police.
And how long have you worked for the state police?
Approximately 25 and a half years.
Back in April of 2021, what was your position with the state police?
At that time, I was a canine handler.
What is a canine handler?
We run dogs for certain types of calls.
Canine, you say?
What would be some of those types of calls?
At that time, I had a tracking narcotic dog. So tracking narcotics, we go out looking for articles, missing persons.
What is that?
Wanted people, building searches, tracking. So some of the basic searches that we do.
Okay. And have you had a different kind of dog when you've been a canine handler with the Michigan State Police other than a narcotic tracking dog?
Yeah, at one point, toward the later part of my canine career, I did also have a cadaver dog.
What is a cadaver dog?
Oh,
Cadaver dog, basically, their main purpose is it's a single purpose dog, basically looking for blood, bone, or tissue.
And how long did you have a cadaver dog?
Cadaver dog was just a little under a year.
On April 27th, Tuesday, April 27th, 2021, were you asked to come to the Munger farm?
Yes.
You know what time you arrived?
The 27th is approximately 12:45.
And do you remember who asked you to come to the Munger farm?
Detective Greca.
oh, there's his name
When
again.
you got there, you brought your dog?
Correct.
Okay. And what was the purpose that you understood you were there for?
It was a missing person. So we're going to be looking for a body.
Okay. So you're going to use your dog to look for a body?
Correct.
All right. And once you got there at 12:45, did you begin looking around with your dog?
Not when I initially got there, no.
Okay. Were you waiting for something in particular?
Yes. When I got there, I spoke with Detective Greca, got a little bit on the case, and at that time I requested a cadaver dog.
Okay. All right. So then you had to wait for the cadaver dog to arrive?
Correct.
And why did you request a cadaver dog?
Just because cadaver dogs a little bit more extensively, they can search on that blood, bone, and tissue. So they give positive indication for human remains. So, and they can search a little bit further if a body has been buried or if it's traces amount of blood or bone that have been left behind in a crime scene. Even after somebody had cleaned it up, the dogs can smell that.
Okay. At some point after you arrived, were you present when there was a conversation between Detective Greca and Dee Warner?
Yes.
Okay. And did that conversation involve the cadaver dog?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell us what was said in front of the defendant regarding that cadaver dog?
At that point, Detective Greca asked me how long the cadaver dog was going to be, or how far he was from arriving on the scene.
Oh,
And then at that point, I had text that trooper, and he didn't answer, so that's what I relayed to Detective Greca.
Okay. And how far away was Dale from you and Detective Greca when this conversation took place?
A few feet. It wasn't very. We were close,
From you and to me, or closer?
closer, more like me to the judge.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Did you ever do any searching at that point in time on Tuesday? You said between 12:45 and whenever you left. Did you do any searching at that point in time?
That initial day, I did do searching while we were waiting for the other dog.
Okay. And what were you able to search during that time?
At that point, I believe I searched the fertilizer barn, which is a dry fertilizer barn, and then I began searching toward the back of the property, began walking toward, they had some trucks parked out there, so I began walking back toward those vehicles, and at that point, I was advised the consent was revoked, so I had to stop searching.
Okay. Now, do you distinguish between the dry fertilizer barn and what has been called the spray barn? Are you familiar with that term?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever go in the spray barn at that point in time?
Not with a dog. I was never in there with a dog.
oh, imagine that.
Did you return later that Tuesday, April 27th?
Yes.
Approximately what time was that?
I don't recall when I returned that night.
Do you remember if it was daylight, dusk, dark?
It was dark.
And did you search the spray barn when you returned at dark?
No, we did not.
Do you remember why not?
I don't recall. Normally, when we do a search, we'll refer to the OIC, the officer that's in charge of the case. So we are specifically there for them. So whatever they want us to search, that's what we search. We may give suggestions at the time or when we're on scene, but we're just basically there to do what they want us to do.
Okay. And what was your understanding? Who was in charge of the search Tuesday night?
Detective Griffith.
Now, do you know the sensitivity, for lack of a better term, of what a cadaver dog can and cannot detect? If I were to ask you a question about could the dog have detected a certain thing, are you able to answer that type of question?
Yes.
Okay. So if there had been a body wrapped inside of a tarp, welded inside an anhydrous tank, do you believe that the cadaver dog would have been able to smell that?
No.
Why not?
So, like I said, the cadaver dog, blood, bone, and tissue. So they have to be able to smell that. If it's sealed inside a container, unless there was some type of blood spatter on the outside of that container, or then the dog wouldn't have been able to smell that.
But it had Dale shaking in his
Now,
shoes.
On Thursday, April 29th, were you back at the Munger farm?
Yes.
And was that again at Detective Greca's request?
Correct.
Do you remember having an exchange with the defendant on the back porch of the Munger house?
Yes.
Tell us
Yeah,
about
no.
that.
Play People's 216, the
Oh.
first, about 30 seconds.
Not a mac and cheese guy, but listen.
Just gonna pause it right there. Do you recognize the person coming up the steps?
Hang on. I think I accidentally hit the sleep timer on this. I'm just a hot mess right this moment. We're going to go back to normal speed for the body cam footage, any recordings. So
Yes, I do.
Who is it?
That handsome fellow is myself.
hi, Jizzy.
And the person who's got his hands in his pockets, that you kind of on the upper step, do you know who that was?
Yes,
Who?
that's Dale Warner.
2 minutes out yesterday. The building, and he was just going to show you too if you wanted to, but it's the far east building is a chemical one. It's just whatever.
That's all insecticide and fungicides. Sure. I just didn't want you to take the dog in there because the floor is still covered with it. No soap up to your feet. You lost
What you want. Or if you can, just whatever. And then,
Do you remember that conversation?
Yes,
Did you go into the barn, the spray barn I'm talking about now, on Thursday the 29th with the dog?
with the dog I did not.
Okay. And if you had, was that because you were warned about the chemicals?
No,
Okay. You weren't concerned about that?
I was not.
So why didn't you go in the barn on the 29th then?
I don't recall why I didn't go in the barn if they didn't want us to search it or they were waiting on cadaver dog. I remember looking inside that barn at one point. It's a pretty wide open, barn, and there wasn't really anything in it except some cylinders that I recall, like a
Tanks?
up and down vertical type cylinders that
Yeah.
probably contained pesticides. So at that point, it would be more
Fertilizer.
for the cadaver dog than my dog.
Okay. And did you ever see the cadaver dog go in there on Thursday the 29th?
I did not.
All right. And you know you didn't.
I know I did not.
All right, great. Thank you.
What are we doing? Is that it? What are we doing?
Good morning. Is it Trooper Taff?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. I wanted to make sure I pronounced it correctly.
Already?
My name is Mary Chartier. I represent Dale Warner. I have some questions for you this morning, and a lot of them involve dogs, which I love, so it's a great topic. So how long were you, or are you, a canine handler, canine officer?
I was a canine handler approximately 8.5 years.
And do the dogs live with you? So are they with you kind of 24/7, or how does that work?
Correct. You're on call 24/7, so you have the dog with you 24/7 for response time.
So the dog that you had, I was a little confused on April 27th. The dog that you brought was not a cadaver dog. Is that correct?
Correct.
It was a narcotics tracking dog.
A narcotic and tracking dog is what they call a dual purpose dog. So it can do two functions. It can search for tracks, and it also search for narcotics.
So when you say track, what do you mean by that?
If someone runs on foot, as I was telling before,
We got a runner.
so if a person runs on foot, the dog can track them based on two things. One, ecological odor, which is basically the disturbance of the ground, so the breaking of the grass blades, disturbance of the dirt, rock, and then also your body. So you can't see it, but your body is constantly losing like dead skin cells, and it has an odor. So if you can picture two bodies passing in a hallway, when those two bodies pass, then eventually a couple seconds later, you'll catch the odor of that person, whether pleasant or not, but you will catch an odor of it and you can smell that. So that you can't see it, but it's there. And that's what's constantly falling off your body. So combination of the ecological odor and then your body odor is what the dogs will track.
So the dog that you brought, again, fair to say you weren't really interested in narcotics, but you were trying to see if your dog could get a scent of Ms. Warner.
Correct. So that dog can also find a body, whether dead or alive. We go on missing persons calls all the time. So, the dogs can find a missing person.
So what's your dog's name? What was the dog's name at the time?
At the time, that dog's name was Havoc.
Havoc? Okay. Was he a little boisterous?
Havoc.
Is that why? Or just was the name?
Just the name.
Okay. So Havoc could,
Ma'am, I am barely 15 minutes into my live stream this evening, and you are trying to be way too cute. You're not. It's icky, and I already feel like I need to bathe. Stop it. Stop it, counselor.
theoretically or technically a narcotics and tracking dog could have picked up the scent of a body, blood, bone, that sort of thing as well?
He would have picked up the odor of the body,
Would-
yes. So looking for the blood, bone, or tissue, those are specific to the cadaver dog. I mean, so that's why I had called for the cadaver dog in that, because it can find, and his indications are, for trace amounts of that.
So Havoc could track or find a body. The cadaver dog that you called for is even more nuanced, so to speak, so could find trace amounts of blood, bone. You said a body buried, correct?
Correct.
And
I have to pause for a minute because the ecological odor thing, I have to tell you all. I think it was Ghost Hunters that I was watching. I'm not positive. That would be the people out of Rhode Island, Warwick, Rhode Island. Anyway, one of the things I didn't realize with cadaver dogs, that if a body is buried close to or underneath a tree, and the tree continues to grow over the years, it absorbs some of the decomposition and the material from that decomposing body, and it will come out of the branches and the leaves. And so you will see cadaver dogs run up to these trees, and they're trying to get to the tops. They're trying to climb the trunks, because even though they've been buried, the tree and the roots and everything absorbs all of that, and it comes out of the branches and the leaves. I was like, what? That is some cool stuff. Talk about nature. So sorry, we had a little side. Oh, if you watched earlier on Corey Richins, they're not sidebars, they're side notes. So that was a little side note that we just took there. So sorry about that, but I thought it was super interesting, so I want to share it. Here we go.
is it accurate that dogs are just significantly better smellers than people?
That is correct.
So do you know how many scent receptors dogs have versus people?
I was a little more into it at the time, but I had since forgot.
So significantly more,
They
right?
are significantly more, yes.
And that's why dogs are so beneficial to law enforcement, because they can sense things, pick up the scent that people cannot.
Correct.
And the dog that you used, Havoc, and the cadaver dogs, those are trained dogs. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Are you involved in the training, or someone else?
No, we're involved as well.
And then do they have to pass a test before they can kind of become law enforcement dogs?
Yes, we have evaluations that the dogs have to go through to stay in service.
Now, how long for a cadaver dog, or Havoc as well? So is it fair to say that they could pick up a scent, a cadaver dog, years later?
Correct.
And do you know how many years?
Every dog is different, but they can hit on the bone. So I mean, as long as the bone's there, as long as they have human remains to locate, the dogs can find them.
Now, so you went there with Havoc. Did the cadaver dog on April 27th also show up? So if we talk about, there are two parts that you were there, sort of afternoon and then early evening. Did the cadaver dog show up at the earlier part?
No, the cadaver dog did not.
Did the cadaver dog come in the later part, the second part?
Correct. In the evening, the cadaver dog showed up.
Now, can a cadaver dog differentiate between human remains and animal remains?
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about anything like that
No.
in terms of it digging up a squirrel and then always hitting on that.
Correct. So I had a dead deer hit by my house, and I ran him on that, no indication. Let it decay, different parts of decay, ran him on it, no indication. So it's kind of a fool way, and then set up bone, different area. I'll go hit on the bone, but he won't hit on the dead animal.
So they're that sensitive.
Correct.
Now, they can smell scents, it sounds like underground. You indicated buried, right?
Correct.
Now, you said that it could not pick up the scent if it were sealed in a container. Is that accurate when Mr. McCready asked you that question?
Correct.
So I want to break that down a little bit. So if a body is moved from location 1 to location 2, and so that body in location 1, would a dog be able to hit on the scent in location 1?
If there were human remains for the dog to indicate on, then he could locate it. But if there's no human remains, then no.
So there has to be, it's not just the scent, there has to be blood or tissue, something like that?
Blood, bone, or tissue, the cadaver dog is what they can hit on. So there has to be some type of human remains there, the blood, bone, or tissue for the dog to give an indication.
So if the body is wrapped in a tarp, would that prevent the dog from hitting on it? The tarp itself, like, is that so thick that a dog couldn't find that scent?
You're gonna have to give me a little bit more. Is this in a container or is this outside the
Outside the container. So I just want to break this down. So dog could hit on the body We agree on that, correct? So if
Correct.
there was a body in a location, a dog could hit on blood, bone, or tissue if there was anything left, correct?
Correct.
If the body was wrapped in a tarp, could the dog hit on that?
Yes. Outside of that container.
Yes.
Yeah. Either cadaver or my narcotic tracking dog to locate that body.
It
Okay,
was
so the
in
tracking dog or the
it was
cadaver dog
already
could
in
hit
the
on that. Now, you said if it was sealed in a container, suppose there were slight gaps or holes in that container. So you've got blood, body, tissue, bone in a container with slight gaps or slight holes. Would the dog be able to hit on that?
So what I'll tell you with that is that if there was you're in anhydrous ammonia container, which so
that
if
smell
we were
would-
searching somewhere around that, and I wouldn't let my dog probably go near that unless he was taking me over there. So I would kind of avoid that just because the odor could kill the dog. I wouldn't let him sniff
They'd
any
inhale it. Yeah.
hole on it. I wouldn't let him sniff any valve or anything like that for the fact that it would kill my dog. So
Yeah, duh.
unless, like I said, my dog was pulling me over toward that container.
I don't
and
like
would
her, but
tension
this
on the
is a good line of questioning.
Cautiously let him approach that, but I would not let him sniff any seam or anything like that in that type of container.
But imagine there's not anhydrous ammonia in the tank. So let's imagine that.
How
And
would
it's
he
in a
know
tank,
that?
and there are little gaps or holes in it. Would your dog, so again, we're taking out the ammonia, would your dog be able to hit on that?
If it was a fresh container, is that what you're talking about, with nothing ever in it?
Correct.
Something like that?
Nothing
and there was
ever
gaps,
in it.
Seals, holes, something like that. There was potential, yes, for that dog to hit on that if I directed him to search those seams.
How far away does the dog have to be? So you said if your dog is pulling you. So I imagine if you are walking in a field and the dog hits on a scent, it may sort of pull you the same way when we have untrained dogs, they do that, right? So it doesn't walk nicely. It kind of pulls you in that direction.
Correct.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
And that's depending on the dog as well.
Okay. So are some dogs more obedient in that regard?
Not obedient, but they are just a little bit different when it comes to when they get an odor. Some dogs directly to it, some dogs bracket a little bit more, and a lot of other factors to play on the weather, the wind, how strong that is.
You said bracket a little bit more. What do you mean by that?
So you'll have, when a dog comes into odor, you'll have what if you could picture like a scent cone. So if the wind is going this way and that dog is coming, he comes into that odor, he catches it. Or if the wind would be coming more like this. Okay, once the dog comes into that, the wind's coming this way, you'll notice a behavior change in the dog. Either head come up, then he'll start to bracket back and forth, and he'll take you right to the source or the body or whatever he's searching for. He'll take you right to it. So he'll bracket back and forth inside. Once he comes into the odor, he'll start searching. If he goes out, he'll bracket back. He'll bracket back. So until he takes you to it. So the stronger the wind is, the easier it is for the dog to take you to it. So you just have to get a little bit closer to it if there's no wind.
How far away? So will the dog be able to start picking up on that scent?
Depends on the dog, and like I said, depends on a lot of other factors involved in the wind and the weather.
Can you give us a range? So is it 2 yards to 200 yards, or what are we talking about?
Like I said, every dog is different. It all depends on the and even the person. If they're
The handler.
like how long they've been deceased, like how bad the
Oh.
odor is versus if it's
I'm
someone
with you, sir.
fresh or if they're still alive. Like I said, a lot of those factors come into play when you're searching for a dead body.
So you can't give us a sort of an inside outside, even wide range.
Like I said, it all depends on, like I said, those, I've had dogs take me from, quite a ways away. But those distances I never measured, I guess.
So what's quite a way? So were you talking a football field, 2 football fields?
I would say 2 football fields. I've ever had one, but at least half.
Okay. And when you're using your tracking dog or your cadaver dog, are they also going to pick up on clothing items or something of mine, right? So if my jacket is there or a bag or something that would potentially have my scent on it.
So narcotic and tracking dog, they're also trained in article searches. So anything that's been touched by a human. I've been on a track before where a guy took off his belt and left it, and the dog located the belt. Will give so for finding an article of property, the dog will give a down response. So he'll find it, go down, and he'll stay right with the item until he's looking for a reward. So once he finds it, he works for a Kong or a ball. But so along that track, if he locates property, anything that's been touched by a human that has human odor on it, he can find. So they can find something like that.
So Habit could do that as well as the cadaver dog that was later brought to the property?
Unless there's some type of blood, bone, or tissue, the cadaver dog won't give a positive response on it.
Okay, so the cadaver dog won't, but your dog would.
The narcotic tracking dog would, yes.
And can the dog pick up, either the tracking dog or the cadaver dog, a smell? So if there's a scent in the air, would either of them alert? So if a body is moved from location A to location B, would they at all pick up that scent, either in the air, on the ground, anything like that?
would they pick up human remains? Is
Or
that what you're asking? I need
just
clarification on
the
that.
scent. So tracking dog, you're saying it can pick up on, like, for instance, a belt. So let's say a body is moved from location A to location B. Would it pick up on that scent?
It wouldn't pick up on the location, no.
No. So is my question clear? Because you look a little confused by it, and it might be the
I
wording
don't
of
even
my
know what
question.
she's
Yeah, I'm trying to
asking.
understand it, but I think you're saying location A to B, if someone were just to move a body, would the dog indicate on that location? But if there's no human remains there for the cadaver dog to locate, then he's not going to give any type of indication. If the narcotic tracking dog, if there's no odor for there to smell, then he's not going to give any type of response. They need a body.
What about if someone had been in a car? So for instance, if I'd been in a car, I'd moved from point A to point B, and then I got out of the car. Would it hit on my car?
No.
Okay. Only if there was blood, bone, or tissue, or an article of my clothing. Is that accurate?
For what dog are we talking about?
Either dog.
So blood, bone, or tissue, cadaver dog.
Cadaver
If
dog.
it's something that's
Not a
recently been
jacket.
touched, then yes, my dog can locate that, any type of article or property.
This is
Okay,
not
so what's recently been
complicated.
touched?
I recently touched this water bottle.
Right? No, I know you did. But what's a time frame for you? So is that 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour? What's recently?
And that goes back to every dog is different. Some of those, and it depends on how you train them as well. So, the first you do fresh items, and then you kind of can further that as well in the training with the dog. So, so if you take something like a cell phone is constantly, you're touching it, swiping it, it's against your
Got a
face all the
lot of
time.
your
That has a
schmutz
ton of
on it.
odor on it. That can be a little while, maybe a day or two, and that dog can still find that. So the longer something is out in the elements, water, snow, rain, stuff like that, washes away odor. So if it's something like that, then it's been weathered, it's going to be less and less time.
No,
But
you
if it's
say
something
enough
that's
to track a cat,
reserved,
maybe?
like I said, it's something like a cell phone that is, has a ton of odor, is constantly touched, then, dogs can, it can be a couple days, but they can still find something like that.
Thank you. And then you
Ah.
talked about the blood, bone, and tissue. Is it accurate to say a dog could pick up on blood that we might not even see, just like a little eyedropper amount?
Correct.
Now, if items have been washed, clothing, could they still pick up a scent on that? Either cadaver or tracking?
The tracking dog is not going to indicate on anything like that. The cadaver dog, it'd be hard to say.
So I want to move to the searches that you did. So on April 27th, 2021, you and Havoc arrive on the Munger Road property. You had indicated, so we're talking about kind of early afternoon, roughly. Is that accurate?
The first time I got there, correct, yes.
Was Havoc the only dog there? I know you said cadaver dog was coming, but was Havoc the only dog?
Yes, that was the only dog there at the time.
And you said you searched inside a fertilizer barn in the back of the property, correct?
No, I searched inside the fertilizer barn. I started to move toward the back of the property, and then the
And
consent
Dale
was
said,
revoked.
no,
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 you
no.
said you did not go in the spray barn with a dog. Did you go in yourself at that time?
I don't recall if I went in at that time. I was at that property numerous times, but I don't recall at what point I was in that barn.
But at some point you were.
But at some point I was in that barn.
Now, you then, again, you said you returned to the property at dark with Havoc, the dog?
Correct, yeah, he was always with me.
Okay, so he's always with you. Sort of like your partner. Is that accurate? Okay. And then cadaver dogs were brought at that point?
Yes, yeah,
Do you remember how many?
just one.
Just one. And then barns and offices were searched, correct?
Correct,
And nothing was located during the search.
correct.
Now, you also participated in other searches as well with Havoc, correct?
Correct.
Do you remember all the dates?
I do not.
Okay, so if you need assistance, we have reports to help you. May 19th, 2021, does that sound accurate that you and Havoc were involved in a search on that date?
It's not familiar, but not to say I didn't.
Okay, so why don't we show you, would looking at a report refresh your memory?
Yes, it would.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Saylor.
Oh, poor Miss Sailor.
Refresh your memory on,
Zippity doo dah, zippity
did that refresh your memory on the date, or are you still reading?
I'm
Hey,
still reading.
Elizabeth.
Okay,
I was
if
looking
you
for
look at the first big paragraph under description of
okay,
request,
when's
that
your
will
name?
have the date. And then your name shows up in the second.
We're going to still zippity doo dah because why wouldn't
You
we?
were involved on a search on May 19th, 2021, along with your dog, correct?
I was there. I didn't say I searched
Hey,
it.
Lock Kong.
So it says, well, let me ask you this. Why would you be there with your dog if you weren't searching anything?
So in that time, Lenawee County, which is the area I'm responsible for, Monroe and Lenawee County mainly. So anytime any type of canine search would go on in that area, I would be there just to assist the other canine handler. If, like I said, specifically the canine dog or handler we were using there, then I would basically be there to assist him. So like dogs, handlers are territorial as well.
Okay. Okay. So someone else was there with their dog, or multiple people with their dogs. Do you remember?
Well, it doesn't specifically say, I mean, it said I was there, but it doesn't necessarily say that I searched anything.
So if you are there, you said you might not have searched, but you might be there helping someone else with their dog, kind of overseeing that. Is that accurate?
Correct. So Trooper Bozak was, he had the cadaver dog, so I would be there helping him.
Okay. So helping him how? Do you walk with him at that time? Do you kind of give him ideas?
So what you do if they give you an area to search, you just go out and look for, well, first you'd ask the officer in charge, maybe if there's a specific location that he wants us to search or an area that had, perked his interest that he might want us to go check out. So at that point, we'd go look at it. And then if there was, so if we're looking at, for instance, if it's an area, they think it's buried. So, we can use a probe, which is like a metal rod. You stick into the ground, you kind of work it in a circular motion to kind of push down deeper into the earth. So kind of opens up like a wide cone down to where you want to get to search. And that helps that odor. And you'd give it a break for a while, maybe half hour or so, and just let some of that odor kind of creep out from that area that you probed. And then so the dogs can smell a little bit deeper down into the earth. So that's one way you can assist.
So on May 19th, 2021, you don't recall searching with your dog, but it sounds like you were on the scene. You would agree with me with that.
Correct.
And it sounds like there was another trooper with his dog.
Correct.
Do you know if it was only one trooper with a dog or multiple?
As far as I know, and what looks like what the report indicates, it was just him and I with the ones with the dogs.
And the Warner farm was searched, correct?
That day, I don't know if it was a Warner Farms.
So if you take a look on the third paragraph.
Went to a farm location, so this could be, there's an area off of, I don't recall the location, but there was an area that was just basically where cows were held and manure pits. So it could have been that area.
Okay.
But it doesn't give an exact location, so it's kind of hard for me to remember what.
Is it fair to say that it would be some farm or property in some way associated with Mr. Warner? You
Correct.
weren't just randomly searching farms,
Farms,
right? Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you also searched Warner family members' home? You want
I have been to some houses, but I don't remember exactly which ones.
If you want to take a look, last paragraph, first sentence. A member of Mr. Warner's home was searched?
Correct.
And then also the Warner household, correct? That's the last line on that front page.
Correct.
Thank you. And to be fair, no property was found, anything like that. Ms. Warner's body wasn't found, correct?
Correct. Nothing was seized that I recall.
Thank you.
No, she was in the
And
tank.
we've got other reports as well if you need to refresh your memory. So it looks like you were involved in a search on May 25th, 2022. Does that ring a bell, or would you like to look at that report?
I need a report, please.
Okay. Ms. Saylor, I think you might be getting your steps in today, so. Or 2022, correct? Cadaver dog.
My dog, but at that point,
You bring your dog, or were you there assisting someone else with a cadaver dog?
I didn't read that into the entirety, but if I was there, I had brought my dog, but at that point, excuse me, Sergeant Yount was there, so he had a cadaver dog, so we'd have been using his dog.
Jameson, the cadaver dog?
Jameson, correct.
Okay, so it indicated that Jameson, the cadaver dog, was there. You don't dispute that.
I don't dispute that.
Thank you. And another family member's home was searched of Mr. Warner, correct?
Correct.
And nothing was seized there, correct? Thank you. Now, on October 11th, 2021,
Thank
so
yous, y'all.
we're going back in time, there was also another search that you were involved in.
Okay.
Would you like to see that report?
Yes.
So Sergeant, is it Yount?
Yount.
Yount? Okay, Yount, he has a cadaver dog?
Correct.
And Trooper Bozick has a cadaver dog?
Correct.
And it indicates that you met with both of those people on that date. Accurate?
Accurate.
Okay, terrific. And then they searched the Warner home again?
I didn't get that far.
Okay,
Slow
oh,
reading.
sorry. Okay, I'll let you finish reading. How about that?
Zippity doo dah, zippity yay.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like, again, Sergeant Yount, Trooper Bozick, and you were there, and as well as a dog named Dexter, the cadaver dog. Is that, whose dog is that?
You haven't
Bozak.
missed
Bozak.
much.
Bozak.
Okay, so it looks like the home was searched again,
It does look like that.
even though it had been searched before. The FBI wanted another search, correct?
Correct.
And then the farm itself was searched again,
Correct.
and then as well as some corn and soybean fields, correct?
That is correct.
And nothing was found, no evidence was seized, right?
Correct.
So then we go to October 28th, 2021. Would you like to take a look at that report?
I would.
Okay, thank you.
Heck yeah. Zippity doo da, zippity a.
So October 28th, 2021, there was another search of a cornfield
Yes,
and nothing was seized, no alerts, nothing was hit on, correct?
correct.
We only have a few more, but Ms. Saylor is ready to go. So back to 2022, June 2nd, 2022, there was a search and no alert. Would you like to see that report?
Yes.
June 2nd, 2022, there was a search around a lake area.
Correct.
Nothing seized, nothing was hit on, correct?
Correct.
And then May 2nd, 2023, Ms. Saylor?
Oh my. I'm glad
The
we
date is
can
at the top.
zippity doo dah here. Woo.
The date is at the top.
I'm familiar with these reports.
Okay, I was going to say a little bit of a different format from what you've been looking at. Here, there were 3 canine teams searching on that date, correct?
Correct.
In multiple locations,
Correct.
nothing hit or seized on, correct?
Correct.
And then are there other searches that you think that you were involved in that I didn't reference?
There could have been.
There could have been, but fair to say nothing was hit on or seized, correct?
Correct.
And then
I don't
finally,
know.
you talked about on April 29th, 2021, you didn't have a dog go into the load barn, which the one that had the big vertical cylinders, correct? Because you said there were chemicals?
You're referring to the chemical
Spray
spray
barn.
barn?
Sure. It's called
Spray
different
barn.
things by different people, spray barn, load barn. So however you refer to it.
There
That's
was
what we're
one
calling
person
building
that
7
called
in
it a
this
load
courtroom, which I
barn.
know you don't know.
I don't know.
So, but that's the one with the big vertical cylinders.
Okay, correct.
You'd
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Could you put on boots on your dog if you had wanted them to go search in there?
I would have just took them in there if I wanted them to search in there.
Okay, if you had wanted to. So if you had wanted them to search in there, you could have, and you said the barn doors were wide open so you could see inside.
The day I went there, I don't know what day that was.
Well, on you in responding to Mr. McCready about April 29th, 2021, you said you didn't have a dog go in the barn because of chemicals. Was I
That's not
wrong
what-
about that
that's
date?
not what I said, no.
Okay, so tell me what you said then.
Give me the question again, please.
Sure. So on April 29th, 2021, did you search inside the load barn?
I did not search inside.
Why not?
Like I said, we search whatever they want us to search.
Who's they?
He wasn't
The OIC, officer in
instructed
charge, as
in-
I
to
referred
do
to
that.
before. They'll tell us what they want us to search.
Sure. And just to be clear, who was the officer in charge?
Greca.
Okay.
Detective Greca.
So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So we go off what they want us to search. Sometimes they come with us, sometimes they don't. So for whatever reason, we didn't go in that spray barn that day.
So when you say for whatever reason, are you meaning you don't know Detective Greca's reason?
Correct. I don't. If
Why would he?
I don't remember. I don't recall if he specifically told us or excluded that barn or that spray barn from our search, or because we'll meet with Detective Greca or the OIC and we'll have them go over what they want us to search. So I don't know if that one was left out from the search or we just didn't go in there. That I don't recall.
Okay. So you don't remember for April 29th, 2021, if he told you not to go in or he told you when he was giving the list of places to go in, just omitted that.
Correct.
that accurate?
I don't recall that.
Okay. You just know you didn't walk inside with your dog.
Correct.
But on April 27th, 2021, you also know you didn't walk inside with your dog. Is that correct? But you yourself either walked inside or looked in at the very least. Is that accurate?
At some point,
On one of those days.
Not one of those. Someday, at some time, I had walked in that barn. I just don't know when I had walked in that barn.
Okay. So to be clear, dog did not go in on the 27th or the 29th of April, 2021.
Correct.
And then you did go in the barn at some point, but you don't think it's one of those days. You think maybe at a later time when you were on the property?
So I don't recall when I went in that barn.
Okay,
Whether if I
so-
did or if I did not go in one of those days. At some point during this
You're not
search,
going to shake this
multiple
man.
year search, I had went in that barn. I just don't recall when it was.
Okay. So it could have been April 27th. It could have been April 29th, or it could have been another date that you just don't remember.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. No additional questions.
Ay, ay, ay.
So you think there could have been searches that you participated in that neither I nor Ms. Chartier has mentioned. Is that correct?
I don't know. There could have been. We had been about there, numerous times at different locations. But nothing. We never found anything.
Okay. And is it your testimony that never in any of those searches did you yourself take havoc or see another canine handler take their dog up to an anhydrous tank. Is that your testimony?
That is correct.
And you
Why
were
would
asked
you?
if the tank had holes in it, and a body was inside, could the cadaver dog have smelled it? And I want to be specific. If the tank had 1 or 2 or maybe 3 pinhole size holes in it that had been painted over, would the cadaver dog have been able to hit on that if there had been body inside?
Probably not. I would say no, that the dog would not have been able to locate that.
Nope. That's a
And
negative.
I believe you testified that at some point you went inside the Munger house. Did I hear you correctly? With the dog, with Havoc?
I don't recall if I was ever in there with Havoc.
Okay.
I have been in the house, but I don't recall if I ever had my dog in there.
That's a very, very good clarification, because I thought that's
if you're
what
having
you meant.
Havoc search for like articles, like you said, a cell phone, other articles of clothing. What if they were underground? Would Havoc been able to find them?
No,
If they were underwater, would he have been able to find them?
no.
And again, does the same apply with rain? You said that rain washes that away. If it had rained on those items and they weren't either underground or underwater, what would his success have been?
Yeah, the longer than any type of article has been out in the weather, like I said, missing person, but it's been out there for months or years, and all the human odor is going to be off it, and then Havoc wouldn't have found anything like that.
Okay. And you said that the dogs, both the tracking dog and the cadaver dog, can smell things that are underground. Is that correct?
So the tracking narcotic dog isn't going to find anything that's buried, but so tracking narcotic dog, if you cover something up with some leaves or somebody's hiding under a tarp or something big like that, then on the surface, someone's hiding in a tree, my tracking narcotic dog can find it. If it's buried beneath the surface, then the tracking narcotic dog isn't going to find it, but potential that the cadaver dog would.
Okay. And so for the cadaver dog, I think you said in order for the cadaver dog to smell something underground, you've got to aerate the ground. Is that accurate?
It helps the dog with odor if you penetrate the ground. We probe it and then, like I said, let it air out for a little bit. Some of that odor, if it's to seep out, then we'll run the dog on those areas, run them other areas, and then just kind of gradually bring them over into that area, just so we're not directly, pointing to that area and have them search it. But in our search, we'll cover that area and then see if there's any type of indication from the dog.
And can you give us an idea of, if you would say just an area the size of this part of the floor here, if you were directed to this area, how many holes would you put in an area about this size?
It depends. We'd look first for, if there's been any type of ground disturbance. So that's what's initially going to cue us to if we want to search that area. So if it's something the grave size, maybe the size of that, the table there and the desk, then, you would probe that whole area. Maybe you'd put, 10 holes in there or less, and then just kind of aerate that area and then have the dog search that.
You mentioned that you went to a farm where there were cows and there was manure. Is that correct?
So cows, and then they'd have these manure pits.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you remember, were you aerating the ground when you searched that field?
The manure pits? No,
Okay.
we were not.
So that you were specifically searching the manure pits, not the general area.
If that's the area that I'm thinking of, we did search some woods that were nearby, but we didn't, nothing on those where the cows were located or the manure pits. We didn't probe any of that stuff.
Okay. All right. And did you search any fields just generally, like walk the fields?
Yes.
All right. Did you aerate that ground as you were going?
Nothing unless we came over an area of interest with the cadaver dog. But I remember being on a search with Sergeant Yount, and I was carrying a probe, and we did come across some stuff. It was so if it was like a big, sometimes farmers will pile up rocks or they'll pile up sticks or something like that. If we came across an area like that, we would probe that, run the dogs on it. But but just a general open field that doesn't look like it's been disturbed or anything like that, then we didn't probe anything like that.
Okay. And in any of your searches, with or without the probes, you didn't find anything of interest?
Correct.
All right, thank you. If Dee Warner's body had been sealed in an anhydrous tank, would you ever have found it?
No.
Objection, speculation.
If he knows.
How is that speculation?
By the basis on which you did that.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you. That's right.
You indicated no. Is that part, so when Mr. McCready asked you about being in a tank that had some holes that were then painted over, you indicated that the dog probably would not hit on it, and then you said no. Is that part of the testing for dogs?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Sure. So you said, for instance, you had a dead deer, you put that dead deer on your property to see if your dog would hit on it, and it hit on a bone, a human bone, but not an animal bone, correct?
Correct.
So when you're training dogs and testing them and seeing how they would do, how many of them have you run by a tank that had holes in it that may have been painted over?
None.
So when you're saying that based on what you think, but you don't know that for certain, correct?
There has to be some type of odor to come out for the dog to be able to smell.
But you don't know what owner would come out in that situation, right?
Odor of,
Odor of a decaying body inside a tank that did have some holes in it.
well, if you had an odor of a decaying body inside a tank and you had holes in it, then the odor of a decaying body would come out.
Thank you. I have no additional questions.
He's like, ma'am, are you this dumb? Are you trying to make fetch happen right now? Oh boy. Oh, juror questions. Oh.
Just to follow up on that last question, if there's anhydrous ammonia in that tank, does that change your answer?
Then the anhydrous ammonia is going to be stronger than anything. The dog, we wouldn't let the dog near that tank if it had any type of.
Even if it had an inch or two of anhydrous in the bottom?
Correct.
You ready for it, John?
Yeah.
Okay, let's zippity doo dah to the juror question.
Side has an objection. My understanding that neither side has any objection to, I guess it's two questions.
Two.
One's on the paper, but there's no objection to asking this, is that accurate?
That's correct.
That's correct.
All right. Was it scheduled to come back to the farm later Tuesday night?
It's Tuesday the 27th.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, that is the 27th.
So Tuesday the 27th, once they received the search warrant and the search warrant was authorized, then we went back to the farm.
If so, was Dale aware of the exact time you all were arriving?
I don't know. That I don't know.
Anything else based on that, Mr. Dupree?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. How many search warrants have you been a part of in your career?
I don't know that I can answer that. There's been so many.
So over 1,000?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we're well over 1,000. Is it fair to say when there's a search warrant, the police don't call and say, hey, we're coming with a search warrant? They just show up?
Depends. I mean, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Normally, they don't.
Right. And there's a reason for that, correct?
Correct.
You want to catch people by
So-
surprise.
Correct.
You don't want, if I am a drug dealer at my house, you don't want to say, hi, we're coming at 8 p.m. And then I'm like, cool, that's great. And now I'm going to move my drugs out, correct?
Correct.
So there is a real tactical reason why a search is not announced, right?
Correct.
To your knowledge, was a search announced to Mr. Warner in this case?
So you're talking, was he called or notified on the search?
Yes.
I don't know.
You didn't do that, correct?
I did not do that.
And you have no knowledge that anyone else did that, right?
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, was it just me or did she come in like mega hot right then? I'm like, I'm feeling attacked
So-
verbally.
In terms of notification to somebody whose property you're going to search, you wouldn't call them and tell them, hey, we got a cadaver dog on the way 20 minutes out?
I wouldn't call that the suspect and let him
Correct.
know. I wouldn't make any notifications at all. It's not my job.
Great.
Nothing additional. Thank you.
Can you excuse the witness from the subpoena?
She is
yes,
overly
right.
aggressive. It's like excessive. And I
yes,
don't
yes.
know why. I'm trying to get us cued for the next section here. Let's zippity doo dah a little bit. Let's find out who we got coming up now. Oh, someone else. Respect.
Good morning. Please tell us your name.
Sergeant Jeff Hooper,
And spell your name for us.
JEFFHOOPER,
And where do you work?
the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
And did you work there back in April of 2021?
I did.
And what is your position there?
At that time, I was a detective.
On April 29th, 2021, did someone bring you an iPhone 12 Pro Max?
Oh.
Why did they bring that to you?
I was
Okay.
asked to get the data off the phone. I had specialized training in doing that in Lenawee County, would ask me to do that sometimes.
Okay. And so it was Lenawee County that asked you to do that?
Yes,
And the Sheriff's Department specifically?
yes.
Okay. And can you tell us how that works? You said to extract the data off the phone. How do you do that?
So the tool that I was using at that time was called Celebrate. It's a
Ah.
universal forensic extraction device. Basically, you hook the phone up to the machine, it extracts the data off of there, And then what you do with that data is you put it into a different program by Celebrite called Physical Analyzer, and it, for lack of a better word, parses it and analyzes it and organizes it.
Okay, and so both of these, the download and the organization, are both under a program called Celebrite?
Yes.
And when you said it organizes it, can you give us an example or some specifics there?
Yeah, so when I say organizes it, it will take your call logs, your text messages, your chats, your photographs, and it will just organize them into a report to where you can click on like a hyperlink and go to that specific thing.
Okay, I'm going to show you what's been marked as People's Proposed Exhibit 222. Zooming in here. Those are your credentials?
Yes.
Okay. And this is an extraction report from Celebrate, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you recognize it?
Yes.
What is it?
So this would be
Oh boy.
the face page for the report.
Okay, and when you look at this, are you looking at a piece of paper or are you looking at a computer screen or what?
It's a computer screen.
Are y'all as excited as I am for this? I've been waiting for this testimony and evidence to come in. I'm so excited right now.
I'm going to scroll down here.
Tell us everything.
Does it contain the date that you did the extraction?
Yes, so right there you see source extraction, the extraction date and time. The start date was 4/29/2021 at 5:41 p.m. and the download ended on 4/29/2021 at 6:45 p.m.
Okay. On the second page of that report, again, we're going to zoom in here. Does it indicate the type of phone that you did the extraction for?
Correct. The detected model, iPhone 13.4, the other identifiers that go along with said device.
Okay. And then did the device have a name? Was it named as something?
Yes, under owner name, it's right under SIM status there. It says Dale's iPhone.
Right there.
And then what about an Apple ID?
Yes, I believe right there on the left-hand side, Apple ID,
Warag.
WARAG at me.com.
Going on to the next page of this exhibit. Do you see the line that says, so there's, looks like there's three that say MSISDN?
Yes,
Oh, that's a
Okay, the
Michigan
first one's
phone
blank.
number right there.
What is an MSISDN?
that's the phone number associated with the phone.
Okay, so there's two phone numbers
You,
here.
Sandra?
You'd say they were both associated with this phone?
Yes.
Two phone numbers associated
Going on
with
to
this
the next
phone.
page.
Interesting.
Looking at the contents, can you tell us what that means?
So the contents, that is the information that got extracted and parsed and put
Get
into
out of the way,
that
Janet.
certain area, whether it be the call logs, the chats, your contacts, cookies, a whole slew of different things.
Okay. All right, scrolling down here,
One deleted. Hold
you
it.
see a line
Hold it.
called
Hold
installed
it.
application. Going down here,
Oh, calendar. Okay.
you see a line called installed applications.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Those are the applications that are installed on the device.
Okay, like an app or a
An
program?
app, yes.
And so what is next to that 562?
562, yes.
Does that mean that number of applications?
Yes, but obviously some of them are Apple apps that come
Run in
with
the
the phone, and
background.
then others are downloaded, say from whether it be the Apple Store or wherever.
And if you were looking at this on a computer, would you be able to click on any of these?
Yes, so where it says installed applications, if you click on that, that will take you to the basically the installed applications page, which just has all the installed
Drill
applications.
down
Okay.
on the
Taking you
report.
to
Active hyperlinks.
one of the pages. And again, there are multiple pages here, but I'm on the page that has numbers 7 and 8. And I'd just like you to look at number 8. Can you tell us what that application is?
com.milestone.sys.x project. I was advised that it was a video surveillance app.
Now I'm looking at number 32.
My Cadillac, again, com.gm.mycadillac.
Thank you.
Tell us
So
when.
those two apps are installed on this phone,
Yes,
among others.
correct.
I want to know when they were accessed.
Right now, going back to our, let's see here.
Why do we have notes and locations with deleted data?
You see an entry by the name timeline?
Yes.
And what is that?
So the timeline takes everything that was taken out of the phone that has a date or timestamp and puts it into chronological order.
So how many of those were there on this phone?
156,557.
Taking you to, obviously we're not going to go through all of these, right? Taking you to the record that's 154073. You see that entry?
1540, yes.
All right, and what does that indicate?
Cookies, April 25th, 2021, 0708 in the morning, gm.com, my Cadillac.
Okay, and what does that tell us?
So that meant that basically a cookie was placed onto the device by the Cadillac or GM app at that time.
So the phone used the app at 708?
Yes.
Okay, going to entry 154079.
Elizabeth, cookies always sound delicious to me. That is the one
Yeah.
thing I cannot live
Do
without.
you see that entry?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and then do you see what time the entry was made?
Yes, April 25th, 2021, 7:45 a.m.
Okay, I'm just moving the page over so you can see the content. All right, so what is this indicating happened at 7:45:09 a.m.?
So that would be a message. The from would be the phone number there and saying owner, that would be from that phone, to the phone number below it, Dee Warner. And again, it was a message saying, going to be spraying, call you later, with a smiling emoji.
Yeah, because they were
Going to
arguing the night before. And sure, that's what he.
154088.
Oh, Dale, you're not very good. Thank
You
goodness.
see that entry?
Yes,
All right, and the time and date?
that would be on April 25th, 8:48 a.m.
Okay, and what happened at 8:48 a.m.?
So that's a log entry for data usage, and the data usage was for Find My iPhone.
And right below that, 154089, there's another log entry. And the time and date for that?
April 25th, 2021, 8:49 a.m.
Okay, and what happened at that time?
Again, a log entry for data usage for the com.milestonessys.x project.
Okay. Just have a couple more. 154097, another log entry. Again, around April 25th and the time.
9:04 a.m.
Okay, and what happened at 9:04?
Data usage, again, for com.milestonessys.x project.
Okay. 154106. Again, on April 25th, and the time is,
10:02 a.m.
and what do we have at 10:02 a.m.?
Again, from the owner of the phone to Dee Warner, a message, are you up yet? Is your migraine better? Smiley emoji.
He's as. No wonder his attorney is
Last
that
one
way.
For the
That's how he is.
timeline, 154:110 time on April 25th.
10:28 a.m.
Okay. And what happened at 10:28?
Data usage, again, for Find My iPhone.
Now, if we go back to our face page,
Why are we finding the iPhone all the time, Dale? I'm trying to
see an
lose a
entry,
few pounds too.
call log.
Yes.
Still
And if you
always.
clicked on that, what would you get?
That would take you to the page of the incoming and outgoing calls from that phone.
Okay, so I'm going to that right now. Looking at entry 166. What is this telling us that happened?
So direction indicates that as an incoming call from that phone number, and the name saved to that phone number, Jaron Warner, April 27th, 2021, 8:38 p.m., 27 seconds, it was answered.
And the very next call, according to this call log,
Again, the 27th on the 2021, 8:39 p.m., incoming call from phone number 517-403-2536, spelling of KEIVENSHERIF department, asterisk.
What?
And do you know where that,
What?
who would have entered that identification? Sorry.
I
What?
wouldn't be able to say that it was the owner of the phone. It could have been shared as a contact or something along those lines.
Okay. And the time of that call?
8:39 p.m., 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and it was answered.
All right. And then the call after that?
Outgoing at 8:42 and 18 seconds on April 27th, 2021. Outgoing to Jaron Weaver, 55 seconds, answered.
Let me zoom in on that name a little bit closer.
I'm sorry, Jaron Warner.
Sure. All right, so that was an outgoing to Jaron Warner, 55 seconds, and it was answered on the other end.
Oh boy, do we see why there were some charges at one point? It looks very coinky dinky to me.
Next call?
April 27th, 2021, 8:45 and 16 seconds. Outgoing to Jaron Warner indicates answered.
And how long?
13 seconds.
Okay. And last but not least, the call 162. What's that?
Incoming from Jaron Warner on the 27th at 8:49 p.m., 9 seconds, answered.
Interesting. Jaron was all up in the business now, wasn't he?
All right, now I'm going to refer you to calls 201 and 202. Not concerned here with the particulars of the call, like who was called or who called into this phone.
Exactly,
see
Elizabeth.
The day and time for call 201?
Yes.
What is it?
April 27th, 2021, 3:24 p.m.
Okay. And then the call before that was when?
April 1st, 2021, 4:22 p.m.
Okay. So you see a 26-day gap in between phone calls. Is that correct?
Yes.
Other evidence in this case indicates that calls were made to and from this phone during that 26 days. Do you know why they're not contained here?
So that would be consistent with, at the time, the tool I was using. It depends a lot on the operating system, the type of device and stuff like that, whether I can get deleted data. And so if there's a large gap like that with other evidence indicating phone calls, I wouldn't be able to recover deleted data. That's a reason for that.
Okay. All right. At some point, did you get an iPad Pro to do the same process with?
Yes.
Do you know when that was?
If you could zoom in on that. So the report was created on June 1st. The extraction start time was June 1st, 2021 at 8:26 a.m. The end time for the extraction was 9:26 a.m. on the same day, June 1st.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is people's proposed 223 that we're talking about, and I'm going to page 2 of that. What was the owner name for this device?
Dale's iPad Pro.
And then do you see a detected phone model identifier?
Yes.
And what is it?
iPad 6, 8.
And the Apple ID for this device, or IDs?
2 Apple IDs identified, again, warag@me.com and djwarner1@icloud.com.
Now, same process to get to the installed applications as on the iPhone.
Yes.
So I'm just going to the installed applications number 24. What app does that indicate?
Again, My Cadillac, com.gm.mycadillac installed application.
Okay. And does the Celebrate also record the web history of these devices?
It does.
I'm going to the web history section of the exhibit. I'm going to direct you to item number 63. What is that?
So you've got 63 and then that short little thing there. It says what to do with 1,000-gallon propane tanks.
Is that the area that you're indicating?
It says that's from a Google search, indicates right there. And then on the right there, that HTTPS is the basically the Google that it searched or the Google that it found.
Okay. And the day and time that that search was made.
May 5th, 2021, 10:38 p.m.
Cinco de Mayo.
Thank you. Nothing further at this time.
Interesting. Oh, Lord, we have to have her again?
Mr. McCready left a note. It was not for me. So there you go. Good morning, Detective Hooper. My name is Mary Chartier. It is still detective. Is that accurate?
It's Sergeant right now.
Sergeant. Okay. So I will call you Sergeant then. I have a few questions for you this morning. I represent Mr. Warner. The iPhone download that you did on April 29th, 2021, that was a consent download, correct?
That's what I was told.
And that means that a person has voluntarily given up their phone?
Yes,
And that means they've given you the passcode, so you don't have to try to figure out what it is?
correct.
When you do a consent download, that gives you access, it sounds like, to everything on the phone. Do you want me to be a little clearer with my question?
You go ahead.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Is there anything you don't have access to? If I gave you my iPhone right now and said download it, is there something you couldn't access?
Most likely, yes.
Okay,
Okay. At that time in 2021, the tools that were out there were not as good as they are today. Okay. So with an iPhone nowadays, you can get a full file system, okay, which gets you most everything, but it's not everything. In order to get a complete mirror image of a device, you would have to step it back a few years. Just the encryption has come along so far that you're not getting a full exact image of a phone anymore.
so let me ask you the things that you could get in 2021. Could you get voicemails? If I had voicemails, and if there were voicemails on Mr. Warner's phone, could you access those?
Possibly, yeah.
Do you know if you did in this case?
I would have to see the face page of the report.
Okay, but you possibly could. What about text messages?
Yes.
What about call logs? You could see, we saw that, right? So
Yes.
you can do that. What about emails?
Sometimes, yes.
What about if there are notes? So you know how there's a note app on an iPhone and you're keeping notes?
Yeah. Generally, there'd be notes on there.
What about location data, things like that?
Yeah, limited.
So you can get a lot from an iPhone.
Yes.
Is it pretty similar with the iPad too? You get search history, text messages, things like that?
Yes.
Now, you'd indicated that the phone accessed the Milestone app. That's a video system that you were told about, correct?
Yes.
Can your download tell you if, for example, the app just interacted with the phone or if someone actually viewed what was on it? Do you know what I mean by that question?
If you could rephrase or expand.
Sure. So I recently tried to get onto my bank app and I could get on the homepage, but I couldn't access it for whatever reason. So is it precise enough to show that, for example, someone interacted with the Milestone app? It sounds like it was, right?
So, I mean, as far as the interaction with it, it's not like a call log to where it says like this app was used for this long or anything like that. I don't have that data.
That's what I was getting at. So perfect. So you can tell someone the phone may have tried to interact with the app or did interact with the app, but you don't know for how long.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then did you also do a download of Mr. Warner's Apple Watch?
I did not.
Do you know who did?
I don't.
Were you asked to do it and did not?
I don't believe I was asked for an Apple Watch, no.
Now, you talked about missing data in your report, correct?
She did.
Yes.
Missing data, it sounds like in a report or from your download can be for a variety of reasons, correct?
Correct.
What are some of those?
Well, in that situation, with that amount of missing calls, that spread of a missing calls, and there being other evidence indicating that there was phone calls during there, that I mean, to my conclusion, it would be deleted.
Didn't ask you your conclusion.
Okay.
I said, right, so I'm going to ask that the court strike that because that's non-responsive to my question.
Strike that because that is not what I wanted to hear you say, sir. Even though we were all thinking the reason that there wasn't any activity on this phone for 25 blessed days is because Dale deleted it. I gotta back that up. I'm sorry, y'all. We got to see that one again because that was not what she wanted to hear. Oh, his face. Look at his face. I don't even know what he's saying, but I know what just transpired, and this face is everything right now. All righty. Here we go again. Collect yourself, Janet.
was phone calls during there that, I mean, to my conclusion, it would be deleted.
Didn't ask you your conclusion.
Okay.
I said, right, so I'm going to ask that the court strike that because that's non-responsive to my question.
I will strike that and direct the jury not to consider that last name.
So one of the reasons there could be missing data is someone tried to delete that, correct?
Correct.
Can it also be from resetting a device to a backup?
I don't think so.
I need to expand on that.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So if you're resetting it from a backup, basically you're backing up your phone and all your call logs and this, that, and the other. And so it takes that backup and it puts it onto a new phone, everything that you backed up there. So if things were there, they would be there. If things are missing, they won't be there. If that's fair enough.
It does. So I'm going to ask you about something that was in a search warrant, and you did not prepare the search warrant, but I want to know if it's accurate. So, so if someone reviewed a phone download, it sounds like the one that you did, correct? So you did the phone download of Mr. Warner's device.
Yep.
And it contains summaries of information. Oh, excuse me, I'm on the wrong page. But there are gaps in records for a variety of reasons, including a user deleting content, which we covered, or resetting your device to a previous backup. Is that inaccurate? That could be a reason why information was not accessible.
Resetting to a previous backup.
Yes.
I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So like you have two backups stored.
Do you want to see what was written to see if you agree that that's accurate or not?
At this point, it's been established that he didn't author the search. I'm not sure how to question what's that.
So he didn't author the search warrant, but he's the one who is opining at least that there was missing data on the download. So this is a search warrant that was prepared by law enforcement
Ma'am,
that indicates
there's
another reason for that. I
he's
think that's
missing.
accurate or not. If he doesn't, he can say that.
I don't understand where you're trying to go here.
Sure. So how the investigation was conducted is relevant. So if someone is attesting in a search warrant that there is another reason why data might be missing, if Sergeant Hooper disagrees with that, that's what I'm asking him about. I read to him what it said, but he still seemed a bit confused by my phrasing. So I thought if he reads it himself, that might help him.
Okay, I'm missing I'm sorry, what basis you object?
I mean, if we had learned to treat us or something, some kind of authoritative document, I wouldn't be objecting. This is a search warrant. I mean, yes, an officer may have put something in there, but this is not authoritative on this issue.
Well, it's not just an officer. I mean, I think it's Detective Juror who put it in. So if it's wrong, I think we should know that.
I didn't think search warrants were evidence.
Just Your Honor, Detective Hooper did not author that search warrant, so he has no idea what Detective Juror was putting in that search warrant when he did it, if that makes sense. So he doesn't know the terms that were used, the words that were used, and what Detective Juror is talking about when he puts that.
This is all in front of the jury.
That's why I offered to show it to him. So he's not going based on my phrasing of it. He actually sees the two sentences himself, and he can say whether he believes that's accurate or not.
Accurate to what? I don't even know what the point is
So
anymore.
I still don't understand. You're asking, like, can I see the search warrant?
Sure.
Go,
Ms.
Judge
Taylor, approach.
Favor.
It's page 6, number 7.
Yes, I love this. I love participatory judges that are fair and understand what they're doing. Judge Mrazek, yes, he put that crazy woman in her place earlier today. I was there for that too. Don't do that. Let's stay focused. Stay focused. I was like, yes, Judge M, you go. Okay, I'm going to try to zippity-doo-dah us. I'm scared I'm going to miss something, so.
To some further discussion about this outside the presence of the jury. So
Oh, boy.
I'm asking the jury to.
Oh, boy. Bye-bye, jury. Okay. We're definitely going to zippity-doo-dah past the jury leaving.
So the statement in the affidavit for search warrant is not a statement that Detective Juror is making in the sense that I understood you to be saying that it was. So the statement indicates that Detective Juror spoke to Detective Trooper Weissenberg, and Detective Trooper Weissenberg told police.
Yes, but he swore to it. So he's the one who signed it.
He
Yes.
swore to the fact that Detective Trooper Weissenberg told him.
Yes.
Judge is like, what are we
So
doing?
what are you using this information, again, to try to establish?
So I want to know from Sergeant Hooper if he believes that's an accurate statement, that the missing data could be as a result of resetting your device to a previous backup.
And what is that relevant to?
Because there was discussion on direct examination about missing data. And it's not just a user deleting data.
Why does this statement in a search warrant have anything to do with it? Why can't you just ask him the question?
I'm fine doing that as well, if the court would like that. And then I can always, if need be, follow up with Detective Lieutenant Juror when he takes the stand.
I think it's legitimate to ask him the question to resolve the underlying premise, but I don't think that the statement in the search warrant is relevant to the answer to that question or anything that Sergeant Hooper's being questioned about.
So the reason I did that was when I said those words to Sergeant Hooper, resetting your device to a previous backup, he was asking me for clarification. And so that's why I thought, well, if he sees it, if he sees what was said, then that might help him understand my question. That was the only reason I was showing it to him, because my phrasing, he was asking me details about it, and I'm
Ma'am,
going
you're
off
trying
of
to
phrasing
get something in that
affidavit.
I don't think you can. Not this way, anyway.
All right, so again, I think you can ask the question. I don't think the information about it being from a search warrant is
Relevant at all.
the issue at this point.
Thank you.
All right, we can move through that.
Okay. We're going to zippity doo dah again here. Even Judge Olsaver is like,
Hooper,
what is going on?
Yes.
So you're just getting your papers in order. So you want to just,
No, I'm, but
okay, no problem. I didn't want to interrupt your process up there. So besides a user deleting content, is another way that there could be a gap in records resetting your device to a previous backup?
I don't believe I can answer that.
Okay. And is that because it's just too hypothetical or outside of your field?
Yes.
Do you know the answer to both, because I asked you a compound question.
Not so much out of my field, just I don't think I can answer it
Too hypothetical?
right.
Okay. Now, this might be too
Kristen.
hypothetical too, and if that's true, just let me know. With an iPhone, does it back up to the iCloud?
It can back up several different places.
Okay. Do you know if this phone was backed up to the iCloud?
If you give me one second
Sure.
to look at this face page here. iCloud backup enabled.
Versus not.
Enabled.
Does that impact what you can recover if an iPhone is backed up to the iCloud versus not, or an iPad is backed up to the iCloud or not?
I don't think I can answer that.
And why not?
I'm not exactly sure everything that gets stored in a backup. And so, without actually doing a search warrant and getting it and seeing it, getting an iCloud backup from the cloud, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
So might there be a difference between what's on my phone and what's on an iCloud backup?
Yes.
Again, I wouldn't be able to say without getting an actual backup and comparing the two.
Have you had instances where they were different, or you just don't know?
I've never done a search warrant for the backup to compare against the phone.
Is it your understanding that the iCloud backup is essentially what's on my phone, but just in the cloud?
From doing backups of personal devices, yeah.
Great. No further questions. Thank you, Sergeant.
Nothing further. You can be excused.
Fine with us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You are free to go.
Thank you.
Okay, I need to talk about this for a moment because yes, if there was an iCloud backup, it would be missing data. We've all backed up our iPhones to the cloud before. And if there are things from the time that you backed it up to when you used it and backed it up again, that yes, there would be the potential of that being missing. But do we know that a backup was not attempted or done on that phone for 26 days? Are y'all following me? I'm not just out in the giggle weeds all by myself, am I? I hope not, because I see what she's saying. I see where she's going with her line of questioning. I don't know why she needed to do the whole search warrant thing and all. That was crazy town. Because yeah, if I had my cell phone, I backed it up on May 1st and I did a bunch of things, called a bunch of people, text messaged, all kinds of other things. And 6 days later, I had my iPhone malfunctioned and I lost everything on it and I had to reset it from a backup that was in the cloud. Then those 6 days worth of stuff that were on my phone, I would no longer have anymore. But I would no longer have anything on my phone for those 6 days. And I don't remember if it was anything on the phone or just the call log. Are y'all following me? That's where I am. Oh, Lord, now we got to look at her this way too? No, I don't want to see this woman.
And at the beginning of the correct. So we will break for lunch at this point.
Oh,
And,
breaking for lunch.
We will start at
All right. Well, I guess I could have been talking while I was zippity doo-dah us to the next. They do take long lunches in the Michigan land.
Raise your hand.
Yes,
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty for perjury?
I do.
Thank you. You can stop.
Good afternoon. Can you please state your name and spell it for the record?
Sure. My name is Henrik Impula, Henrik. Last name Impula, Impola.
Where were you employed in April of 2021?
I was an agent with the FBI out of our Detroit office.
Okay. And are you still there?
Yes.
How long have you been
Not an
an agent with
FBI.
the FBI field office?
Since 2010, so about 16 years.
What was your, did you become involved in the Dee Warner missing person case at some point?
I did.
And when was that?
That was in October of 2021.
And how did you become involved?
I was a member of the evidence response team out of our Detroit office, and I responded as part of a search.
Do you recall what date that was, or dates?
Yeah, it was a 2-day search, so it was October 11th and October 12th of 2021.
What were your main duties as part of this search?
So I was the team leader of the white team, and my team's responsibility was to search the vehicles and the outbuildings on the farm.
Okay, when you say vehicles, what are you talking about?
So I'm talking about cars, trucks, trailers, tractors, all the farm equipment at the farm. So basically anything with wheels.
All right, so when you say at the farm, what was the location?
That was a 2170 Munger Road in Tecumseh.
Okay, I'm gonna have you turn behind you and look at the map. Equals 263. Do you recognize that?
I do.
Okay, and is that the Munger farm you were at?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then you said you also were in charge of the outbuildings. Which buildings on that map, if you can identify them by number, did you search as part of that?
Sure. So I searched 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Oh,
The only one I didn't search was the house.
Okay.
all of them.
Did you go
Oh,
inside the
boy.
outbuildings?
I did.
Tell
I'm
us
gonna show you people's
everything.
exhibit 174. Do you recognize that building?
I do.
All right. And what building is that on the map behind you?
That's the spray barn.
It is this building here. Number 7.
Okay.
Number
I'm gonna have
7.
you stay in front of the microphone when you speak, just because it's picking up your voice and recording. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell us
I'm going to show you
everything.
people's exhibit 89. Did you observe that safe?
Yes, I did.
Okay. In that same location we just talked about, building 7?
Yes.
You also indicated you searched vehicles. Do you recall approximately how many vehicles you searched?
Yes, we had 37 vehicles listed on our report.
At some point in time, did you
37.
search a black Chevy?
Yes, I did.
All right. And was that just part of your search, or why did you search that?
It was part of the search, but it was requested to us to search the Chevy early so that it could be used.
Okay. And
So we wanted to search things before they left the property.
all right. And at the time you arrived at the property, who was there?
There was Dale Warner and then farm employees. There was Michigan conservation officers and Michigan State police officers and other local officers. And then I arrived with a contingent of FBI personnel.
Okay, and when you arrived, were people then asked to leave the property?
I don't know if they were asked to, but many people did elect to leave. And we were controlling the scene, and it was an active farm. So there was a priority to search the vehicles first to give them the opportunity to leave.
All right. Do you know who was in charge of that search warrant?
Well, I was working under Leslie Larson, who was our senior team leader, but I do not know on the state side who the OIC was. I believe there was multiple detectives and agencies there.
Okay. Do you know at that point in time if it was the Lenawee County Sheriff's Department who was in charge? Or?
I believe it was, yes.
Okay.
Lawcon, you may have missed some of the coverage, but we did watch we saw evidence come in that definitely makes it appear that if there was any period of time that Dee's body was someplace other than in the anhydrous tank, which I believe there probably was a period of time, it was likely in that safe. It is in the spray barn. The safe is in the spray barn. And Dale had already opened that number 34 anhydrous tank up and had her in there, and it resealed by 2 days after she was missing. So it was quick. I don't think anything was kept in a freezer. I think she went from the house to the safe, from the safe to the anhydrous tank, and then it was sealed up, and he took it and put it to the back of the property. That's why he got squirrely about them searching in the back of the property, because that's where the anhydrous tank was at that time.
And as part of the outbuilding searches, did you search anything else on the property?
Yes, so I searched all equipment and silos, grain hoppers, bins. I tried to search anything that was in and around the barns that was part of the farming operation.
When you say water tanks, what are you talking about?
Well, there was a lot of tanks throughout the property. So I searched big plastic water tanks. There was 2 silos, and then there was smaller barrels and stainless steel barrels.
Okay. How did you search those?
I manually looked inside the empty tanks. So I only searched tanks that weren't pressurized or didn't have chemicals in them. Manually looked inside as many as I could. And then I assigned members of our technical hazard response team to look inside higher tanks and silos and more complicated tanks that it looked like you needed a wrench or something to get into.
Okay. You indicated you didn't look inside any pressurized tanks or ones with chemicals. Why not?
It didn't seem, well, first off, I didn't have the equipment to look inside or the expertise to look inside.
Okay.
I didn't have any way to access those. And I didn't have any reason to believe there would be anything inside them.
Okay. Did you
Who would ever think
make
that?
observations of any of the tanks that would have contained chemicals on the farm that day?
Yes, so we noted in our logs which tanks we looked at, which tools we used, and then we noted tanks that were on wheels. Those were considered vehicles for the purpose of our log. So we noted which ones we went to and where they were.
37.
As you were looking at these tanks, what are you looking for?
Well, initially, I'm doing a preliminary survey and I'm looking for any trace evidence, blood, body tissue. I'm looking for a body. But then, generally speaking, looking for anything out of the ordinary, any weapons, anything that could be used in a homicide.
Okay. Around the tanks?
Yes.
All right. Were you looking specifically at welds?
No.
All right, I'm going to take you back to the
Who would
Chevy
have
that you
thought?
searched. Do you know whose vehicle that was?
I don't know who owned it. It was used by Dale Warner.
On that day?
I didn't see him drive it that day. I saw him around it that day, and it looked like it had things with his name on it inside the vehicle.
Okay. Did you see him get in and out of that vehicle at all that day?
No, ma'am.
All right. Did you find anything in that black Chevy?
Yes.
What did you find?
I found calendars and journals and loose leaf paper and
Oh!
handwritten notes.
Oh, tell us everything.
Did you take those items?
No.
What'd you do?
I photographed those items in place.
And why didn't you take the items?
I had brought the items to the attention of our senior team leader and asked if they should be taken, if they were relevant to the case. I was told they wouldn't be taken, but to try to document and photograph anything that I thought was pertinent.
Okay. And did you then document that?
I did.
All right. Now you said you took photographs. Did you photograph the items where you found them? Did you move them? Where did you photograph them?
So initially, we took entry photographs, which were where they were found. And then in place where they were found, we opened the notebooks and paper and we took pictures in place. And I should clarify that I didn't take the pictures. I directed the pictures and directed what was taken. My photographer took pictures.
And what did you want specifically taken out of those journals and notebooks?
I wanted to take pictures of all the handwritten notes that were contained within them.
Okay. So if there were a blank page, would you have taken a photograph of that?
No,
I apologize. Would you have directed that a photograph be taken of that?
that's sorry. I would not have directed that. I directed them to specifically look for handwritten notes.
Now, you indicated that your lead, Leslie Larson, indicated that you did not need to take those items just to photograph them. Do you know if that was her decision?
No, she had consulted with the officer in charge at the time and then reported to me
Okay.
what the direction was.
I've handed the witness exhibits 187 through 190. Can you look at those pages and just tell me briefly what those are out of the group of items that you said you collected?
Sure. So these are 4 loose leaf printed pages titled Vehicle Locate, which were found in the rear of the truck.
Okay, and all 4 of those would be vehicle locate items?
Yes, that's the title. They're screen captures. They're printouts of a screen capture, and the top of the screen capture says Vehicle Locate.
Okay.
Oh. Let's see those. Put them up.
The
Put them on
first
the Elmo.
vehicle
do whatever
locate
you
item
got.
that you have, 180, People's 187. Can you read what date that is?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh.
There's a handwritten note at the top that says September 8th, 2020.
Is there any additional handwritten notes on there?
Yes.
And what does that say?
Directly under that date, it says, told me she was at home office and was going to meet the girls for lunch after she was in the, I can't read that word, never stops lying about everything. There's more words.
Okay, read the rest of it.
All right. There's a line that notates to a location, and it says, was here for approximately 45 minutes. There's another line that locates to another location on the map, and it says approximately 30 minutes. And then down at the bottom of the printout, there's a statement that says, I think drugstore met someone, then to dinner for lunch. She met with counselor at 10 a.m. When I talked to her, she was happy and cheerful.
Y'all.
Is that everything that's on that page?
That's all the handwritten notes.
I'm going to show people's exhibit 187. Is that what you're looking at?
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
boy, y'all. Oh, my. Oh, that
I'm
was
going to have
too
you
quick.
go to people's exhibit 188.
We got to back this up. I need to see that. I did not have this on my bingo card that old Dale baby was keeping a journal. Y'all. Oh, boy. Goodness gracious.
Is that what you're looking at?
Yes, ma'am.
Can't really see it very well here, but you can see it's a printout of a screenshot, and I'm guessing this is where all the writing was. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I usually try to mute so you all don't have to hear all that mess. Wow.
I'm going to have you go to people's exhibit 188. And what is that?
This is another printout on computer paper of a screen capture titled Vehicle Locate.
Thank you, everyone.
Is that what you're looking up at on the screen up here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And can you read, is there a date on that one?
Yes.
Can you read that?
On the upper right, it says September 8th, 2020.
All right. And what about the handwritten notes?
Handwritten notes on the right side of the page there says, at dinner 45 minutes after she said she was there, why lying about where she is at? Question mark.
People's Exhibit 189. What's that one?
It's another computer printout of a screen capture of a vehicle locate.
All right. If you look up at the screen, is that what you're looking at?
Yes.
All right. And what does that one say? Include the date.
It's dated 11/20/2020. And the statement is, Dee has doctor's appointment, goes to cafe, shop, okay. She left the house at 7:30 a.m.
Okay. People's Exhibit 190. What is that one?
This is the fourth printout on computer paper with a screen capture of vehicle locate and handwritten notes.
All right. Look up at the screen. Is that what you're looking at?
Yes.
All right. And again, read the date and tell me, read the handwritten note.
Date is 11/20/2020. The handwritten note is, told me she was at doctor office, won't answer her phone, never tells me the truth about where she is, exclamation point. The second paragraph is, just called me at 10:20, said she just got out of doctor's when she has been at store for an hour, exclamation point. Can't stop lying, exclamation point.
Words are hard, sir. We understand. Thank you so much for all of the blessing.
And I believe you indicated there were 2 smaller black books. Is that accurate?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to hand you.
I am shooketh. Did not.
Do you recognize
see
that item?
This.
I do.
All right. And what does that item contain?
This is a black bound journal with grid lines on it that was found in the front seat of the black Chevy.
Okay. And I'm going to have you look up at the screen. Is that
I don't think
the item
so,
that you're looking
dude.
at?
Yes, ma'am.
That's an interesting take.
I'm going to have
on
you open it
I
up to
don't
the
think
first
so.
page. Do you know what this binder or book contains?
It contains handwritten notes with dates and then dialogue.
All right. So is this the first page that you're looking at?
Yes.
All right. And so can you read the top 2 lines of the first page?
Oh boy.
Sure. First line is 1 of 423, picture of text. Second line is messages, December 9th, 2019.
Okay. And when do those text messages start?
They start at December 30th, 2018.
Okay.
That's the number 3.
All right. And can you go to the last page and tell me
That's
when
from
those text message
2018.
conversation ends?
I can't see what this shows.
So the last message I see here is line 294, and it says June 15th.
Okay. And does it say what year?
No, but the top of the previous page says May 31st, 2019.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. And
Oh. Do you all see what it says up here? Let's pause. May 31st, 2019. D. I am freaking out. Letter from IRS. DDW. Willful neglects of taxes. I think that's what this says here. Wow. Oh, this was a very, very ugly relationship. He should be
correct me if
nervous.
I'm wrong. Is this book, you indicated it was text messages. Does it look like a conversation between 2 people?
yes,
Are there additional notes within the notebook? If you can recall.
I believe there's some commentary and some notes dispersed between the text.
Okay.
Wow. I didn't remember hearing anything about I don't know if Dizzy is still with us, but I know
You also indicated that you found some
following a lot of
online
pre-trial stuff.
paper. Is that accurate?
But I don't remember any of this or knowing any of this. This is all completely new to me. Wow.
Yes.
Just wow. All right. Time to zippity doo dah again.
And then tell me what those are.
Paper that was found in the truck.
All right. When you say loose leaf paper, is it one photograph of each paper you found, or how many pages are on each photograph?
So each photograph contains generally 3 pages sequentially across. One of the photographs contains 4.
Okay. And did you notice anything between those unlined pages and the two, any of the other books that you recovered?
Yes, these unlined pages are dated and they have descriptors, and they seem to correlate with some of the text messages and make reference back and forth.
Okay. Does it make reference to the text messages or the planners?
Well, what's in the planners, excuse me, yes, which I believe to be dialogue that seemed to be from text, but yes, what's in the planners.
Okay. Was the book, the notebook with the text message with the dialogue, is that separate from the notebooks that were planners?
Yes.
In front of you, you have exhibits 192 and 193. Can you look at those?
I think we can all figure out how
Exhibit
Dale,
192 is a black bound calendar with grid lines and hand.
y'all, Dale stayed so calm all the time because he was feverishly journaling. If anybody has ever had any mental health issues or known anyone that has had mental health issues, it's one of the first things a counselor will recommend that you do. Journal your thoughts and everything. This man, all of his hatred, all of his anger is in these notes that he was journaling for years. Oh my goodness, this guy's a psychopath. Oh, wow.
Written notes.
All right. When you say calendar, is it dated?
It is
What year?
2020.
Is the front of that? Where's it dated 2020?
Oh, excuse me. The page I looked at here is dated, has handwritten notes which say 2020 on it, but the first page has a handwritten note that says 2019.
Okay. So is that essentially a calendar where you could pick a date and year that you want?
That's correct.
Oh.
All right. And then what is 193?
193 is a light colored calendar which is titled or has the label 2021 on the top.
All right. And what is that? What is that item?
This item is a day calendar or a day planner from 2021.
Okay. So that's specific to 2021 calendar.
Correct.
Okay. So now we have a 2021 calendar, a calendar that you can put any year in, and then you have a book with what you described as a text message conversation, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now those photographs that I handed you, 179 through 183, and if you need to look at the rest of the exhibits, you indicated they corresponded with some of the other items you took. And what items were those?
So they seem to correspond with the handwritten notes in 192 and 193.
Okay. So describe what you mean by that.
I mean that there's a date and then descriptions of what Dee is doing, where she's at, and opinions about it.
Okay. So for example, I'm going to take you to page 179. I'm going to take you to the first sheet. That one's dated March 23rd, 2021.
Oh.
And I'm going to have you go to the black planner.
March 23rd.
Do you and see if you find March 23rd, 2021 in there.
Okay. So we know Dee went missing about a month after this. Correct? Everybody's on the same page with this. April 24th, 2021 was the last time anyone saw her. So this was a month before. While he's getting his life in order there, we're going to go ahead and read what it says here because I have a bigger screen that I can look at it on. Was in office for a while today, tried to talk to Dee about crop budget, did go well. Tells me all the time how mean and how bad I treat her. Don't understand. Vacation was great. Everything was good. Then it all change on the way home. And then the one that is on the opposing page from December 28th, 2019, Cancun, Mexico trip, Lena, Dee, and something. Unpacking in room, noticed 2 phones in Dee's bag, asked her about it. She said she found it in, I'm assuming, room when we got there and was going to take it to front desk. I didn't say any more, figured wasn't worth a fight first day of our vacation. What do y'all tell me in the chat what you think? Do you think that Dee found that phone in that room and she took it to the hotel front desk or the resort front desk, or was that hers? I'm just curious what everybody's pulse is on this.
Black planner start out. What's the first sentence in the March 23rd, 2021 planner?
On the last page of the exhibit, it's random handwriting. It says, Dee was in the office for a while today, tried to talk to her about crop budget, didn't go well, exclamation point.
All right.
Says
I'm gonna
did
stop there.
go
I'm gonna have
well.
you go to now the exhibit 193, pink planner. And that one, I believe you indicated, was the 2021 calendar. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Do you find March 23rd, 2021 in there?
Yes.
Okay. And what does that one say?
It says, was in office for a while today, tried to talk to her about crop budget, did go well, tells me all the time how bad I treat her. Don't understand. Vacation was great. Everything was good. Exclamation point.
Okay. And so was that a constant with those loose leaf papers as well as the black calendar and the pink calendar?
Yes, they seem to correspond back and forth.
Okay. I'm going to have you go.
I think that was Amy Alexander, Elizabeth, that said Dee had oh, you know what? No, it was the nanny girl that he used to say nasty things to about her weight. She is the one that talked about getting a phone. I'm pretty sure that's who it was. It's either her or the accountant for the business. I can't remember which. Maybe y'all thought that or can remember that.
Go to exhibit 192, page 7.
Yes.
Okay, I want you to flip that sideways just like this is and tell me what that says.
It says, it's this way every time I check my something
My Cadillac app.
She's never where she says she is, exclamation point and underlined.
Can you imagine
I can make out some letters on the app.
Your
It's not
spouse
entirely clear.
was doing this? If Mr. Demeanor did this
And
to
can
me,
you tell me the date on that?
That's July 31st, 2020.
Okay. That's page 7. Let's go to page 9. So if we go to from 7 to page 9, does that mean that any page in between, so page 8 would have writing and page 9 would have writing, but anything in between did not have writing? Would that be accurate based on what you said earlier?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to have you go to page 9.
Yeah, I have it here.
Is this what you're looking at?
Yes.
All right, and what date do you have?
March 4th, 2021.
All right, and what does that say?
It says, just got a text from D. Fuck you. I'm not going, exclamation point. What is up now? Exclamation point. She's getting so unstable. Hope the vacation help get her away from things. Exclamation point.
March 4th, 2021. Oh boy.
I'm going to take you to the pink planner.
That storm is
2021, exhibit 193.
She did have an affair for like
Again, is
2
that this
years.
item right
That
here?
came in as testimony or evidence. All right. I
Turn to page 4.
I can't do dead time. I'm going to zippity doo dah.
I have it here.
Okay. Is that what you're looking at?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and read Saturday, the 20th first.
Okay. It says heading home from Disney, left about noon, smiley face. Stopped about 2 a.m. dash
To rest
to rest a bit. Started up again around 8 a.m. Sunday morning.
Okay. Now read Sunday, the 21st.
Dee had a meltdown on me around noon, exclamation point. Said my kids didn't respect her, period. Jaron left JCB at Tom's. Dustin called to use it for the B party for Kara. We got home 2:30 p.m.
All right. And does that go on to the next page, page 5?
Yes.
Okay. What does it say on the top?
Oh boy.
At the top it says, I think she just started a fight so she could sleep on couch. She snuck out. Don't know where she went. And then there's kind of a note on the side of that says, to around 2 a.m., was back around 4 a.m., drug dealer or boyfriend, question mark.
Okay. Tuesday, the 23rd.
Okay.
No. We got to, I'm going to read this because we need to know what it says here. Okay. Dee had baby all day in house, went off on me because I'd filled his truck up with fuel. Because I guess that's JD filled his truck up with fuel. I don't know. Once again, so she don't have to come to bed with me. She has a second phone. I found her on it in Florida, said it was hers. I don't know what that says. Keeps it hidden, on it all night at house when I am in bed, drinking more and more, taking so many pills. I don't know what they are. Said her head hurts. All right, I got to get it just a little further here.
Tuesday, the 23rd.
Was in office for a while today. Tried to talk to her about crop budget. Did go well. Again, he's saying this. Tells me all the time how bad I treat her. Don't understand. Vacation was great. Everything was good. Through it all. Charge on the way home. Oh, then it all changed on the way home. She snuck out again tonight at 2 a.m. What?
Okay. It says, was in office for a while today.
Sorry, I never know
Tried
if
to
he's going
talk
to
to
read it
her
all.
about crop budget. Did go well. Tells me all the time how bad I treat her. Don't understand. Vacation was great. Everything was good. Exclamation point. Through it all. Change on the way home. Exclamation point. She snuck out again tonight at 2 a.m.
She's just
Okay.
trying to get away from you, Dale. She was done. That's what I think anyway. That's just my opinion.
I'm going to have you go to page 8.
I am fascinated by all of this. I did not have this anywhere
Okay.
on my
Is that,
radar.
is that what you're looking at?
Yes.
Okay. Read
Oh,
Friday,
oh,
the 23rd.
y'all. Oh. I think this is April. I think this is April 23rd. You're right, Elizabeth. Yeah, it could have been a draft. I didn't even think of that, but I know we saw that more than one time. But this says on Friday the 23rd, it says Dee got into a disagreement with Terry N over his ex-wife. 24, got into it with Terry and Todd, tried to argue with me about Todd Terry. And then Sunday, Dee left house around 9:30 a.m. Oh, sir, I don't think so. Don't think so.
For me.
Okay. Dee got into a disagreement with Terry N over his ex-wife.
All right. Saturday, the 24th.
Got into it with Terry and Todd. Tried to argue with me about Todd/Terry.
25th.
Dee left house around 9:30 a.m.
No, she didn't.
Next page.
Dale, you bad, bad boy.
I have it.
Okay, go ahead and read the next date that you have on there.
This is April 26th, 2021.
Yo.
Okay.
At the top, still don't know where Dee went. I think she's at Zach's house. That's where she always goes.
Next date.
That's the 27th of April. Sheriff came out, searched the property for Dee, started to wonder if Zach is still hiding his mom or not. Exclamation point.
Next one.
April 29th, 2021. Sheriff here again, searching house and property, took my phone at 3 p.m. Starting to think maybe Zach doesn't know.
Okay, Elizabeth, I would agree with that. Here's what I think happened. This is me with the completely just spitball in here. The pen color and handwriting is all the same in each daily entry. I think this is a decoy left for investigators to find. I think these entries from the 24th, the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th, 26th, 27th, all of that, I do think those were all written at the same time. They are all it looks like it was written in the same angle and everything, like it was written in one sitting. However, I think he couldn't let go of all of the things he had been doing for 3 years as far as tracking her. And there was a little bit of like a trophy. And so I don't think all that stuff that happened beforehand was a decoy. You think he wrote all of it, even back to 2018 and everything? I don't know why he would do that. I need to understand a motivation for why, because this looks really bad. This looks really bad to me, because I'm like, dude, you were not trusting her, stalking her. Like, you have massive issues.
Doesn't know.
Oh, excuse me, where she is. Sorry, I didn't see that last little notation.
Okay. The next time that you have an entry in the calendar.
That's May 9th, 2021.
Okay. And there's nothing
All
between
those blank pages.
April 29th and May 9th of 2021.
That's correct.
Okay. What does it say on May 9th?
There's blue writing with an arrow that says, Lena said we could change Mother's Day and Father's Day around this year. So it was Father's Day today, Mother's Day on Father's Day when Mom is home. She is so smart! Exclamation point. Then in black writing, it says, Mother's Day was very hard. Dee still not home. Lena is very upset today! Exclamation point.
This is all bull.
And the next entry that you have?
That's May 10th, 2021.
Okay.
It says, Sheriff was here. No new leads. Took my iPad, Dee's retainer, got permission for dental records. Kevin is off until Thursday. His father died.
Okay. Anything additional in that calendar?
No, that's the last piece of the exhibit.
Funny how that long time went in between, and then poof, the sheriff comes and we've got
exhibits
more journaling.
184, 185, and 186. What are those items?
These are handwritten notes on a spiral bound notebook.
Okay.
Very
Is that
true,
what you're looking
Jude.
at?
Yes.
All right. There's water up there if you need it with all the reading.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Can you read that for me when you get a second?
Sure. All right. I'm on 184. Top of it. It says Sunday.
Oh, this is the draft. This is the draft, and in several iterations of what he was doing in the time surrounding. Oh, this is
April 24th, and that's crossed out.
He's Prussian.
Next is Saturday, April 24th. It says, Dee's plan to leave days before, exclamation point. Fight with Terry. Fight with Todd. Get Angela out of house. Start fight with Dale so she can leave house. Dale won't argue with her. Makes her even madder. Starts getting migraine. Changes her plan to leave that night, exclamation point. So she leaves in the morning on Sunday. Was going through her clothes days before, boxing up the ones that fit. Did she take them somewhere? With a question mark. Still hasn't contacted anyone. What does this mean? Question mark. Is she still mad and mentally troubled? Question mark. Or did she get into a worse relationship? Question mark. Or checked into mental clinic? Question mark. That's it for that page.
Oh,
Okay,
Dale.
I want you to go to exhibit 185.
Dale.
I have it.
All right, on the right side of that notebook, the bottom in blue writing. Is that what you're looking at?
Yes,
All right, can you read that for me?
sure. Was having nightmares prior. Wake up soaking wet in a panic. All jewelry would be in bed, pulled off in nightmare. Her watch never made it all night on her arm. Talking in her sleep. You can't protect me from them. I will get you the money.
Oh, these are different stories that he's putting together.
Exhibit 186,
Wow, y'all. We thought
I have
Corey Richens was
the
dumb.
top portion in blue.
He
Is
didn't
that what you're
walk
looking
the
at?
dog, but he did everything
Yes.
else.
All right, and can you read that for me?
Sure. Never goes shopping alone. Can't sit home alone. Scared to be by self. Runs to window or door every time a car goes by or pulls in? Question mark. Always said someone was watching The Office on the hill on Carson, dash. Different vehicles going by something all the time, dash. Slow, excuse me. I see that now. Different vehicles going by slow all the time.
Okay, thank you. Did you ever interview the defendant in this case, Dale Warner?
No,
Was your role limited to doing the things that you just testified to today?
that's correct. I was just on the search team.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Wow. What a dodo head.
Good afternoon, agent. Is it Impala?
It's Impula.
Impula. Okay, I got the emphasis wrong. My name is Mary Chartier. I represent Dale Warner, and I just have a few questions for you this afternoon. Want to focus in on this October 21 search or 2021 search. Is that the only search that you were involved in this case?
It's the only search. It was 2 days, so, but yeah, that was the only search I was involved in.
So we're confined to that period of time. Did you go, then go home, then come back? How did that work?
Yes, ma'am. I went out to the property on October 11th. Then I went home after the scene was secured for an overnight crew. And then I came back on the 12th for the second day of the search.
Was this search pursuant to a search warrant?
Yes.
So was there an announcement, here we come, or did you just show up on October 11th?
I don't know. I know that we briefed ahead of time, and there was a contingent of local officers who went to meet and went to the scene initially, and then they called us when the scene was ready. So I don't know the details of what happened with that initial contingent or what Dale or the officers did. Or
So you don't know, for example, if they showed up unannounced.
that's correct.
Do you know who would know that?
No,
Would it be the officer in charge?
I would presume.
Now, you indicated you were there for 2 days.
Rebecca.
Your job was to search vehicles, and your team, I should say, the white team, searched 37 vehicles, including a lot of outbuildings. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you get to what you believe to be a vehicle associated with Mr. Warner. You see these items, and you read a portion of them. You'd agree with me, there are other things on those pages you didn't read.
That's correct.
So, for instance, in just the last 2 sheets that you were looking at, Mr. Warner is on those sheets kind of surmising where his wife might be, where she could possibly be, correct? And what aliases she may use.
Ma'am.
You're talking about 186?
Yeah, so if we look at 185 and 186, Ms. Saylor,
Ma'am.
would you pull up 186, which is our page 233?
I think
Would you
this is
zoom
a
into
bit,
the bottom
stretch-
top
bit of
part
a
there?
stretch. Oh,
So it says, where
Dale.
would she go, right? And then lists a couple of ideas of where she might be, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then also, if you zoom out a little bit, Ms. Saylor, what aliases would she use? And write a couple of ideas on that, correct?
Yes.
Then if we go back, would you go to 185, which is our page 232, please? And would you zoom in a little bit more to the top portion?
Yeah, this bottom portion is what we just saw with the arrows.
So you can see he's got some ideas of asking people questions and try to surmise as to where his wife might be, correct? Of portion.
I got to back this up and stop it, because one of the things it says, don't know where her other large diamonds are. All I see is small one in safe or dresser, costume stuff. Sir, you know exactly where it is.
So you can see he's got some ideas of asking people questions and try to surmise as to where his wife might be, correct?
That seems fair.
Right. And those were things you didn't read. And to be fair, there are other things in these documents that you did not read. We'd probably be here for quite the afternoon. You'd need more than that one bottle of water, right? To read everything in the notebooks and the paper and everything like that, right?
Absolutely.
And when you were talking about sort of, we've got these handwritten notes, and then they seem to be in a journal. Is that correct? Or like a calendar by date, and they seem to correspond?
Yes.
Remember that testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it fair to say you've got sort of loose sheets of white paper that are unlined where someone is jotting down their thoughts, right? And that's what it looks like, correct?
Sure. Yes.
And then those thoughts are transferred to like a binder, something that's bound together by date, correct? So it's all in one place. Is that fair?
I couldn't say how they got from one to another if one is transferred to another. I'm just looking at two independent things. So
He doesn't know
presumably
that.
they're related, and I don't know which one came first and how that happened.
Exactly.
That's a fair point. But so when you say they correspond to one another, you have loose leaf documents. Again, these are bigger than those sheets of paper, but you have loose documents, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That correspond to similar or the same language in a bound series of pages, correct?
Yes.
And this was found in a vehicle, right?
Yes.
You just stumbled upon it, or a member of your team, correct?
We were searching the property. I don't consider our search to just be stumbling around, but we opened the door of the vehicle and we found it there. We didn't intend to find it, if that's what you mean.
Sure, and stumble, I don't.
I love this
you just
guy.
like tripped over your own feet. My point is, no one said hi. There's a journal and some documents in a truck. You should go take a look at them. Right?
No, that's
I
not
did
how
receive
it
that
works.
information, yes.
So from who?
From the search team I had assigned to look at those vehicles. So I noted the vehicles that I thought might be pertinent to get out of the way, and I sent a team to go look into those vehicles to see if there was anything that seemed pertinent. And they came back to me and said there is a number of journals and documents with handwriting. And so I went specifically to those vehicles to go look at them and then to dig into
It's like,
it further
actually,
to
that
see
is
where we're
exactly how
That's
it
a
happened
great
for me.
clarification. So it was law enforcement, though, not you, but members of your search team who found the items in the vehicle, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And those items were not seized.
That's correct.
Why not? You said that your supervising officer agent spoke to someone and then they said,
Is she really that dumb? Is she really that dumb? Come on, lady. They left it all there because they didn't want Dale to know that they knew. Surely she's not that dumb.
that they were not relevant.
They said just to photograph the materials and not to take them.
Was there any reason given as to why not to take them?
No.
Did it just because it seemed like a private journal?
No, when we search, it's very intrusive, and so I wouldn't consider privacy to be a thing.
Okay, so there's no privacy at all if you're searching property. Sounds
That's
to be
correct.
fair.
Is this your first day, lady? Because you sound like it's
No,
your
you
first
said
day.
that the loose leaf paper seemed to correspond with the bound notebook or book, for want of a better word. When did you realize or think there was something that corresponded? Was it on the scene or was it later when you reviewed it?
It was on the scene.
So are you in real time reading all the items that are being you're directing someone photograph
Yes, ma'am.
and then saying photograph this with a blank page, leave it alone, keep photographing?
Not quite to that effect. So I gathered the materials, looked through them, corresponded them, and kind of made my assessment. Then I turned to my photographer and said, this is what I want you to photograph, and this is how I want you to do it. And then I allowed them to do it. So I wasn't turning the page myself. I just gave them the direction based on what I had reviewed.
How long did it take you to go through everything?
About 10 or 15 minutes on my review, but then the team was there quite longer. So I expected them to be taking my general direction about handwritten notes and then going through every single page. Whereas I was doing a cursory review, flipping through, looking for pages, kind of doing a general look through myself.
So you are not reading, because you'd be a fast reader. You are not reading everything in that 10 to 15 minutes. You are just going through to identify items that you want a team member to photograph. Is that fair?
Well, it's definitely a fast reader.
Okay.
And when I opened something, I would read it, but I didn't read every page of the journal. And I didn't go through every loose leaf piece. I would select things from the pile, make a preliminary assessment, read it, put it aside, go to the next one, and then make my assessment of the entire pile based on what I had read. But I didn't read everything.
Okay. So if we're looking at X number of pages, you did not read every word of X number of pages in that moment.
That's correct.
Did you ultimately go and do that later on, or was that for another team member to do?
That was for other team members, but then in preparation for this testimony, I reviewed all the pages in which photographs were taken.
Thank you. Finally, you identified a safe in the load barn, building number 7, correct? That was in the photograph. You were asked about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you take that photograph or did someone else?
Somebody else took the photograph.
Was that something you independently remembered, or looking at that photograph refreshed your memory while you were preparing for trial?
Looking at the photograph refreshed my memory. There was, I didn't have an individual memory of a safe, but then as I looked through the entry photographs, I remember seeing it.
So I have to imagine you saw a lot in those 2 days.
Yes, ma'am.
And I have to imagine that's not the only search you've done as an agent.
That's correct.
No additional questions. Thank you, sir.
The loose leaf pages, the black calendar that can be dated any date, and the pink calendar dated 2021. I'm going to talk about all 3 of those, okay?
Yeah.
All right. The black calendar that could be dated any date and the loose leaf pages, do you know if all of those were contained within that particular item? Does that question make sense?
No, which particular item?
So the loose leaf pages and the black calendar that can be dated.
Yes.
So those loose leaf pages have a couple of different dates on them, right?
Yes.
Read me all the dates.
March 23rd, 2020, December 28th, 2019, July 2nd, 2020, May 22nd, 2021, March 20th, 2021, March 5th, 2021, March 4th, 2021, March 1st, 2021, July 4th, 2020, July 7th, 2020, July 11th, July 31st, 2020, May 21st, 2021, May 22nd, 2021, and March 20th, 2021.
Okay. And the items that were dated in 2021, did you observe those items? And so from the pink calendar, the items that are dated, strike that. On the loose leaf pages, the items that are dated 2021, did you observe those in both the pink 2021 calendar and the black calendar?
Let me check to make sure.
Oh, I don't think I picked up on that during direct. Did y'all pick up on that? This is like multiple?
Yes.
Okay.
Shut the
items-
front door.
The loose leaf pages that were 2019 and 2020, were those items within the black calendar?
Yes.
What?
You indicated that you notified your supervisor or your team lead, Leslie Larson, about these items, correct?
Yes.
All right. Is that common? Did you tell her about every single thing, or?
It is common for me to notify her. And if there's any questions on what is relevant or pertinent to the search, I would be expected as the team leader to ask those questions of the OIC or of my team leader.
All right. And did you think those were relevant? Did you think that it needed to be brought to the attention of your supervisor?
I wasn't sure if they were relevant. It seemed like they could be relevant, so I brought them up.
Okay. And why did you think they could be relevant?
Because they made references to the state of mind
White?
or description of what somebody might be thinking about the victim.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Do
Wow.
you think it was relevant because it also showed a state of mind after Ms. Warner was missing?
I guess I didn't really parse the details of the state of mind. I was just trying to determine if it was potentially relevant or not.
Thank you.
and may Agent Impula be released from custody.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
No juror questions? I am shocked by that. All right, let's see what is going to happen. Oh, they take a little break, a little breaky poo here. Let's see.
People may call it.
People call Scott Singleton.
I do not think we will get through all of Scott's testimony here. He looks like he is on the stand for 2 hours approximately. So we'll
Good afternoon. Can
go.
you please state your full name and spell it for the record?
Yes, Scott Singleton.
We will go until 5 minutes to 9, so I can send you all off. And so that's about 45 minutes of testimony, but I have it at 1.25. And let's see what we can get done.
SCOTT-SINGLETON
Where were you employed in April of 2021?
with the Michigan State Police.
What was your title?
I was a detective sergeant.
How long were you a detective sergeant?
I was a detective sergeant for 12 years,
How long did you work at MSP in total?
27 years.
Did you become involved in the Warner case at some point in time?
I did.
When was that?
In March of 2022, so almost a year.
A year after she
When
went
she went
missing.
missing.
Was that when they created the task force for Dee Warner?
Yes.
All right. What was your role at that time?
My role was to assist the sheriff's department. Detective Lieutenant Juror was assigned. I was assigned as his backup to assist him. So I was assigned to just do anything that they required of me or anything that they needed.
When you first became involved in March 2022, what types of things did you do for the investigation?
Well, when I first got all the evidence in the investigation, I had never seen any of it. I had read through the reports. I went through all the evidence, all the photos, the phone dumps, the surveillance on the farm, the surveillance cameras.
Did you watch any body worn cameras?
Yes, several.
When you said you looked at the surveillance footage from the Munger farm, how much footage did you look at?
Well, I looked at it all, and I spent probably hundreds of hours looking at that surveillance film.
Okay. Did you look into the financials at some point of the Warners?
Yes, a few months into assisting, but probably around July, it was determined that we would start looking into the financials.
Why did you do that?
There was a theory from the defendant that his wife had stolen a large amount of money and was living out of the country.
And did you meet with him to discuss this?
I met with him briefly at the farm, and he introduced me to his financial guy,
And what did he say? Who was his financial guy?
Mark Weisberg.
What did he tell you about Mark Weisberg?
He had hired him. Mark Weisberg was previously employed at the farm, and then he hired him back after Dee went missing to look over the books and the financials.
Okay. And so who went over the financials with you?
Mark Weisberg did.
And was that at Dale Warner's request?
Yes.
All right. So when you're looking at the financials, what types of things are you looking at?
Well, Mr. Weisberg had gone through, and he had indicated that there was upwards of $1 million that they said was missing. And he gave me,
What?
I guess, different examples of schemes that were to divert money from the business to her personally.
Okay. And what were those ways?
There were several. Immediately it became where included in this $1 million figure was credit card charges on the business accounts that then they just paid off with the business money, but they were personal. I wasn't concerned with that, but there was a lot of that. What I was mostly looking for was any hidden accounts that she may have, that she may be living comfortably off somewhere else, or any cash that was unaccounted for. So there were invoices that were paid in the trucking company. There was beef sales, grain sales. There was reward redemption points on their credit card that were unaccounted for on the business books, but I was trying to account for where that money went.
All right. Have you investigated financial crimes before?
Yes.
And in what capacity?
As all my years as a detective, I've done numerous embezzlement investigations. Prior to becoming a detective sergeant, when I was a trooper, I was assigned to a couple of different task forces, federal task forces, both the Secret Service and the IRS, doing financial crimes. So I had a little bit of a background in financial crimes.
Okay. And so you said beef sales and income from the businesses. And you were also looking for any bank accounts that she might be living off of. Is that
Correct.
all right? And did you find any bank accounts that Ms. Warner could be living off of?
Not that we didn't know about. There was one account that was associated with the business, but they called it wasn't on the books. It wasn't in their computer system, but it was associated with one of the businesses. The statements and everything were in the office, so it wasn't a secret hidden account that nobody knew about. But there was one that was not associated with the business.
Okay. I believe you indicated that originally when you started looking at this, or you met with Dale Warner and Mark Weisberg in July of 2022, the amount started out at $1 million. Is that what you said?
Yeah, there were numerous figures thrown around throughout the entirety of the investigation.
Okay.
It started out $1 million, and I think the last I heard was, she stole $2 million and fled to Jamaica or something of that nature.
Okay. And were you able to find any sums of money that were unaccounted for?
Yeah, I traced as much as I could, and when things go to cash, it's a little harder to trace. But I did not find any secret accounts that she was living off of in Jamaica or accessing or anything like that. But I did come up with some figures of money that was unaccounted for.
And what was that figure?
It was about $34,000 over a 2.5-year period before she went missing.
Wow. That's not much.
Were you also part of a search on Paragon, or strike that? Were you part of some large scale searches in May of 2023?
Yes.
Tell me about them.
Well, the defendant had access to or owned thousands of acres that he farmed, and we thought it important to, some of these properties were already searched from the sheriff's department prior to us becoming involved, but we wanted to make sure we touched everyone, searched them thoroughly to make sure that we covered all our bases.
Okay. And approximately how many properties do you think you searched?
Oh, I don't even know. It was,
Do you know the approximate acreage?
it was about 3,000 acres
All
in
right.
total.
Based on those searches, did you do another more in-depth search of another location?
Yeah, based on information, while we were conducting those searches, based on information we obtained, there was an address on Paragon that became a Paragon Road that became more important to us after the searches began.
All right. And what did you do with, based on the information that you received, what did you do?
We received information that during our searches of these other properties, Mr. Warner was initially said that he was digging at this property on Paragon. We sent someone by to make contact, a detective. He wasn't digging, but he was moving a collapsed structure, and he was using heavy equipment on that property.
Okay. And so did you decide to to do a more thorough search of that location?
Yeah, it was on our radar. And part of the reason of this big search, we wanted to touch every property that he had access to, but we also wanted to see how he would react to us searching all his properties. So, and while we were searching his property, he went to this specific property. So it also became interesting there. The property itself used to have a house on it and a barn. And it was, the property was demolished, the house was, and it was buried in its foundation. So there was some digging after she went missing. There was a fire, burned the debris and then buried it. So it always was kind of interesting to us. It had already been searched prior a couple times, but we were still interested in searching it again.
All right. So when you're talking about the property on Paragon, are you on the north side of Paragon or the south side of Paragon?
Yeah, so the property on Paragon, it's split. On the north side is where the house and the barn sat, which are both demolished. The house was buried. The barn is demolished, but there was still debris around. Now on the south side of the road, there is another barn there, which ultimately is where Dee Warner's body was located.
Okay.
But we were focused on the north at that time.
On the north side.
Yes.
Okay. And did you eventually go search that property?
Yes.
All right. And when was that?
It was early, you mean?
In relation to sending your trooper over there to kick Mr. Warner off the property?
Yeah, so we sent a detective over there the night we got the information. He made contact with Mr. Warner, asked him to leave the property, and we set a trooper there overnight to secure the property so that no one came and disturbed it. And we were going to seek a search warrant to dig that foundation of the house that was buried the next morning.
And did you come back the next morning?
We did.
Do you know approximately what time?
It was really early in the morning. We started around between 7 and 8 probably.
Who did you arrive at the property with?
I was there with Detective Lieutenant Juror, another Detective Sergeant Fegersky. There's a trooper still there that was securing the property. I can't recall everybody who was there. But
Was there other law enforcement?
Yeah,
officers
there's a handful of us there.
All right.
canines, cadaver canines. Yeah, human remains expert.
Okay. And what was the plan with that property?
We were going to excavate where the house was basically collapsed and burned and then buried. We were going to excavate that foundation with heavy machinery.
When you arrived at the Paragon property to do that search and excavation, did anybody other than law enforcement show up that morning?
Yes, the defendant did show up.
Okay. How long had you been there before he arrived?
It wasn't too long before we arrived that he showed up.
Did you have a conversation with him?
Yes.
And what did you talk about?
He just wanted to know what we were doing, and we explained that we were going to be digging the foundation, and he offered to stick around, but we asked him to not be on the property at that time.
Okay. And did you indicate when you were going to be digging up the property that you were looking for his wife?
I don't recall specifically, but
Okay.
I guess that implied.
Out of the other thousands of acres that you had searched up until this point, had the defendant ever offered to help you search?
No.
You indicated that you watched hundreds of hours of surveillance footage from the Munger farm.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you People's Exhibit 30. Now, we've already had testimony about the security footage, and I just want to know if this was how it appeared to you on the footage. So I'm going to go to Building 1, and it's all
I just want to pause this for a second because, well, maybe.
red.
Yes.
And so
No, it's cut off. I want to point out because we've talked about this a little bit. You could very, very easily look at the surveillance cameras and see what they cover, because over here in the upper right corner, past these circles here, that's where the spray barn is. It would be easy to take something all the way around to the back of the spray barn and come in that direction, and you'd never be seen. You would never be seen. So I think it's super important to know those areas where there aren't any cameras.
that indicated that there were interior cameras in that building. Was that accurate?
Correct.
All right. And at the top of that building, you'll see the V coming out. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And would that be the correct angle of that camera?
Yes.
All right. Building 5, on the north end of that building where it's lit up red,
Yes.
is that also where the interior cameras in that building were?
Yes.
All right. And the, see the black circle and it kind of the red lines that go out?
Yes.
All right. And would that also be accurate for where those cameras were?
Yes.
You see what
That's
I'm
the field of
talking
view.
about?
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Up here.
And
You could come in here and never be seen.
building 6, you see the red area on that?
Yes.
And did you observe that on the camera footage?
Yes. That's the office. Yes.
All right. And then again, to the east of building 6, we see
When-
the arrows going out.
Mhm.
Is that what you saw in the footage?
Yes.
All right. Whoops. Was there any cameras located inside building 7?
No, there was not.
That's why he had to do everything in building 7, because there weren't any cameras there.
So in building 1, how did the camera system operate in that building when you were watching them?
When I was watching, there was multiple cameras in building 1. It's actually 2 halves. There's a front part of, we call it the old shop. There's the front part of the old shop and the back part, and there were multiple camera angles all throughout, covering almost all of both sections of the shop. It was motion activated, so when people came in or light came in, it would activate the camera.
Okay. And what about the north side of building 5? How did that camera work?
Same thing. There was only one camera in there. It was on the west wall facing east, and it was motion activated as well.
Okay. Office camera, same thing?
Same thing, yes, motion activated.
All right. What about the scale cameras when you were reviewing those?
There's actually 2 cameras there. I'm not sure if they're 2 independent cameras, but there's 2 views. One is a normal view, and then one is a fisheye view, so it gives a wider view of the area.
Did you watch footage from April 25th, 2021?
I did.
In the old shop, was there a lot going on in the old shop?
Yeah, on the 25th, there was a lot going on. One of the employees, I mean, I think it was Sunday was an off day, but Ivan Boyd, he was in the old shop with his brother working on his vehicle.
All right. What about the new shop on April 25th, 2021? Was there a lot of activity in there?
There wasn't a lot of activity. There was some throughout the day, but not a lot at all.
The office?
The office had a lot of activity. Once it was discovered that Dee Warner was missing, a lot of the family came together, and that's where they congregated in the office.
All right. Do you know what time that camera stopped activating on April 25th, 2021?
In the office?
Correct.
The family left around 4 o'clock, and I believe there was one activation later in the night, but that was from the lights of a vehicle that's shown through the windows, and light tends to activate those, but there was no activity within the office. But 4 o'clock is when activity in the office ceased.
All right. And do you know what time the activation started in the office that morning?
It was 10:07.
Okay. And the scale cameras from the 25th, was there a lot of activity on that?
There's a lot of activity, but specifically with the scale cameras, there's a pine tree right in front of them. So the wind blows just a little bit, moves those branches. It's motion activated, but it basically throughout the day stayed on most of the time.
Because those trees were waving.
What were you able to do with those cameras?
When you are viewing them in the viewer, you can speed them up, slow them down, zoom in, pan throughout the photo in a zoomed in mode.
Did you do that for what you were looking for on April 25th, 2021?
Yes.
The timestamp on the camera, did that appear to be accurate to you?
It was close, but it was not accurate. It was about a minute and 35 seconds off.
How did you come to that conclusion with it being a minute 35 off?
Whenever we have video surveillance, whether in a gas station for a robbery or whatever, times are always off. So you have to make sure that you know what the correct time is and see what the difference is. Unfortunately, by the time we got involved, it was seized and we couldn't view it live. So what I did was one of the detectives in this case had a body cam when he responded. And so specifically in the office, when he came in the office, you could see him and I could compare the two times, and it was a minute and 35 seconds off.
All right. So how do you know the body camera timestamp is accurate? Why would you compare it to that?
With the body cameras, they are, whenever you dock them, they communicate with the system, and it automatically resets the clock and makes sure that it's accurate. So it's as long as it is docked, which you have to, or otherwise it'll die on you. The battery doesn't last that long. That camera will stay very accurate.
Recalibrates every time, it sounds
At some
like.
point while you're looking through the footage from 4/25/2021, do you see something that you feel is important to your investigation?
Yeah, I was looking at just everything that happened that day because that's the day she went missing. But one thing that stood out after that 4 o'clock when the family left, and there appeared to be nobody else on the farm except for the defendant. He was in the old shop and he was looking around some welding equipment. And it appeared, from my view, that he heard something because he looked out the big bay door, and then he kind of crouched down and was looking in a suspicious manner. So it looked like he was startled that somebody maybe.
We saw that.
All right. I'm going to show you the footage. This is the old shop timestamped 4:52. Is this the footage that you're referring to?
Yes.
Oh, yes. We remember. It was like, ooh, I got caught. Uh-oh. What? Oh, crap. I gotta hide. Oh, no. It's all good. I'm good. Yep, Dale, we saw you.
So what did you do with this information? When you see him by the welder, what do you do with that information?
I mean, I let my partner know.
Did anyone catch what date that was?
There was other
the
things
next
that led
day?
us to believe there was a theory that there was some welding perhaps involved in whatever happened. So I also looked at the other videos to see if there's anything else that I could find that was to do with welding.
All right. Did you eventually find Dee Warner's body?
Eventually, yes.
Okay, and that was in August of 2024?
Correct.
And before you found her body, you had noticed other things on the footage from April 25th, 2021 that weren't
Oh, it was on the 25th.
necessarily important to you at the time, right?
Yeah, there was when you view something without context, it may be there, but you don't necessarily see it until you receive that context. And once we discovered where she was, how she was, her her body was disposed of. I took a look back at all the camera footage with that knowledge, and I discovered some other things.
Okay, what additional things did you do after finding her body before looking at that surveillance footage?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yes. Was there anything else that you did in addition to watching the surveillance footage after you found Miss Warner's body to help you look at the footage and find what you needed to find?
I did look at other footage that was close to the time of her disappearance on body cams, any footage that was around the farm to see if I could see where that tank was or if we could find that tank.
Okay, and so based on the condition you found her in a tank, you were looking for a tank.
Yes.
The body camera footage that you
Yes.
reviewed?
Oh, I think we're going to see this tank. Where are we, everybody? Let's orient ourselves. Oh, we're by the burn pile, y'all. This is the burn pile over here. Okay. Keep it walking. Let's see if we see a welded tank. This is on the 27th. It should have already been welded shut with her in it by this time. Oh, show me old 34. Good old 34. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, everybody. Go around. We want to see that number. Oh, take me to the tank. Take me to 34.
All right, and is that the footage that you were referring to that you watched?
Yes.
Oh, if only
Did
we
you
could
ultimately take
see the
a
number.
screenshot of that footage?
I did. I was able to pause it and at different locations and get a better look at the tank in the still frame.
All right, I'm going to show you People's Exhibit 79. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have you take, there should be a pointer up there with an orange tip, maybe? Maybe not?
Oh, there it is.
You just pull that out.
Is that Dale walking
Oh,
with
okay.
him? Surely
Can you
that's not
Look at the
Dale.
map behind you, People's 263. Do you know where this location is on that map?
Yes, this is the, it's in this area back here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We
Is
know
that the
where.
area where the burn pile would have been?
Yes. And that's, you can see the burn pile in front of the blue truck shell when you, in the video prior to that.
Okay. In addition to watching this body camera and getting that screenshot, did you talk to anybody and ask for some help with the tank?
Yeah, after we found the tank, we talked to a welding expert, and based on, and I have no knowledge of welding, but it appeared to me as if the discolored line on there was not a factory weld, but we consulted a expert to confirm that.
Okay. Did you, when you talked to the expert, did you get some guidance on how that end cap would have been taken off and welded back together?
Yeah, prior to that, I had no knowledge of how someone would do such a thing, but he
Me
explained
either until yesterday.
walk through how we would be able to do that.
Okay. And so this is again where, when I asked you some things that didn't necessarily seem important, did they now seem important?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you the old shop, April 25th, 12:51 p.m. Is this one of the?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things, but early on, I did find this suspicious as well. I see in putting an angle grinder and blades for the angle grinder into the Kubota, and I know that's a cutting instrument.
So you knew it was suspicious. You just didn't know how it.
Right. Yes.
And this shot of the new shop, correct? At
Oh,
114?
Dale.
Yeah.
Not the new shop, the old shop.
This is the back of the old
portion,
shop.
correct.
So I did see him looking for something in that area. You may not be able to see from theirs, but there's hooks there that he's he's touching.
Oh, we know.
And then you'll see in a second here, he'll turn back around and go and get a chain.
Okay. And based on your conversation with your welding expert, were these relevant to your investigation?
Yes, absolutely.
I just can't imagine what was going through his head. All these people around and everything, and he's got his little hide a body list, shopping list that he's going through.
Did you observe any signs of a welder on the property?
Yeah, there were multiple welders on the property that you could see on camera as well. One in particular stood out after further review.
All right. And which one, what area on the map would that have been?
That would be in the new shop.
Okay.
Right here.
Oh, we think we know
There's
which
one interior
welder
camera.
too.
All right. I'm going to show you
The
the
Miller.
new shop at 3:12 p.m.
Miller, what was it called? I can't think of what it's called. Oh, this was when he was taking the corn planter out with the versatile tractor. I have learned so much about farming. Y'all, I'm like, ask me some questions.
And is that the clip you're referring to?
Yes, that was just two clips that were shown. One of the welder, I don't know if you can play it again, but the if you look at the green toolbox in the center, if you look just to the left of that, you'll see a blue box with a
Welder.
yellow cylinder. Just to the left of that green toolbox.
Okay.
That was the original location of it, and this was at 312. This is the position. it was
This
in.
right
Okay.
here.
And then let me ask you this: the new shop after this 312 shot, does it activate again?
Not until this next clip
Until
that
the
you
next
just showed
clip.
earlier.
Okay.
That's right, Jillian. I have like real
Next time it
knowledge to go
activates
with
at
my y'all.
6:43 p.m. and you can see that the welder is now in front of the green toolbox and the defendant is walking away.
Okay. So you didn't cut out any video footage or anything like that. This is just when it activated on its own. Is that?
Yeah, the motion detector is on, like I said, the west wall facing east. So when you come in from the east, it appears that it's a hit or miss whether it picks up your motion.
Were there periods of time after speaking with your welding expert? Were there periods of time that you narrowed down where you believe Dale was in the spray barn for periods of longer than 10 minutes?
Yes.
All right. What periods were those?
There was about a 20-minute period between 126 and 146, and that's just after he retrieved the angle grinder and the blades
Oh.
from the,
Okay, so this is the scale camera at 126 p.m.
yeah, so we see him at 126 heading on the Kubota. If you look right between the silo and the tree, I know it's a rough angle, but you see it heading right towards the wet barn at 126.
Okay.
And then at 146, you see the sprayer pulling out of the barn.
Okay. What's the next clip that you were referring to that you could place him in or around the spray barn for longer than 10
The
minutes?
next longest period that he was in there was for 48 minutes from 3:41 p.m. to 4:29 p.m.
So we've got 341. And where are we at here?
Yeah, so this is the, on the right is the new shop. The Kubota is driving up this way, and right at the end of the video, you see it kind of starts to make a right.
And then
Ma'am, what are we doing?
429. Which camera is this?
That's the scale camera.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'd say it's only working half the time, but it's me. It's the operator. All right, now we're at 429. Which camera are we on?
This is the scale camera.
Okay. And what period of time do you say we have there? 48 minutes?
Yeah, 48 minutes.
Okay, what's the next period of time?
The next period of time was just 59 minutes. I would believe it was between 5:07 p.m. and 6:06 p.m.
And both the 20-minute, just for clarification, both the 20-minute and the 48-minute period are after he has the angle grinder, the grinding wheels, the hooks and chains.
Correct.
All right, and
Oh.
then indicated 5:07 to,
To 6:06.
okay. That started out at 5:07. Now we're at 6:06. Do I need to start that clip over?
Yeah, you might want to.
Hey, it's always tea time. Thanks for hanging out.
5:07 at the scale cameras.
Yep, 5:07 scale cameras heading towards the wet barn,
And then we have 6:06.
and then 6:06 heading back.
Wow.
All right, now we're at 6:06 on the Kubota. 6:07 on the JCB.
Correct.
All right, so that was how many minutes?
59 minutes.
Dale worked his butt off on that Sunday. It just wasn't work. It was
After
to cover up
You
the
observed that.
murder of his
Do you observe
wife.
anything else leaving the spray barn?
Yes, I see the front end loader leaving the spray barn on a couple different occasions.
All right. So now we're at 6:37 at the spray barn. Did you observe anything?
Yeah, it's tough to see. I mean, you can see, it's tough to see from this distance, but you can see the front end loader heading west with something white in the bucket.
Okay. So I'm going to rewind this again. The front end loader appeared to have something white in the bucket.
Correct.
Okay, play it. Boy, is that hard to see. That's really hard to see, but it shows up in the other part of the property on another camera.
Now we're at the old fuel tanks at 6:39. And which direction is the JCB heading?
Oh, it's heading east.
All right.
Yeah, towards the wet barn. Number 7.
Spray barn.
At this point, do you notice anything different?
Yes, when you see this view prior to this frame, on the very left side where you see the burn pit, there is something white in the burn pit, but there's also something white just on the edge of the screen, a circular round-looking object.
All right. I'm going to show you some screenshots of those cameras. So I've got People's Exhibit 53,
Oh,
Okay.
he moved me.
April 25th, 2021 at 6:07 p.m. What am I looking at?
So where that pickup truck is, right in front of it is the burn pile. And between the burn pile and the edge of the screen, you'll notice that there's nothing there. And that's at 6:07.
I
PM.
think he's talking about this area here.
And then I'm going to show you People's Exhibit 54, which is April 55, which is People's Exhibit, or which is 4/25/2021 at 6:39 p.m. What are we looking at now?
Same view, but now you'll see that there's something white that is on the burn pile. But then if you look between the burn pile and the edge of the screen, you'll see the end
This right
of an
here.
object. Now,
I
based
don't know
on
if you can see
the way
my
I
little
found this
cursor.
was after seeing that body cam of where that tank was, I looked back on here and I could tell that that was the location of where that tank was from the body cam.
So did everybody see
It
that?
wasn't there at 6:07, now it is there.
Wasn't there. I can back it up.
6:39 p.m.
6:39. On the burn.
I'm going to back it up just so
It's
everybody
Exhibit
can
54,
see. Oh, yeah.
which is
see?
April
It's not there.
55, which is people's exhibit, or
And then
which
it's
is
there.
4/25/2021 at 6:39 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
What are we looking at now?
But then that body cam there
At 6:39
at
p.m.
6:39.
Oh, Dale.
When you were
Oh,
watching the footage from April 25th, 2021, did you observe Dale Warner on the farm?
Yes.
All right. In and out of buildings, what was he doing?
Yeah, he was in and out of buildings. Besides those portions that he was back in the wet sprayer barn for a longer periods of time, he was in and out of the office, looking over their shoulders. They were trying to look at these surveillance cameras. He was just kind of all over the farm.
Did he also
Was.
leave for periods?
He did.
all over the farm. Yes, he was. And he wasn't spraying. Well, he might have been spraying, but it wasn't in the fields at all.
Did you attempt to go back over the defendant's timeline again for when he left the property that day after discovering all this information? Or before?
I did before of when he was on the property and when he had left the property.
All right. I'm going to show you April 25th, 2021 at 7:47 a.m. And does that appear to be the first time?
Yes, that's the first time the sprayer leaves the property, and it's gone for approximately 25 minutes.
Okay. And then again, you see the sprayer heading back toward the farm at 8:12 a.m.
At 8:12 a.m., it's returning to the farm.
Okay. And then that sprayer leaves again.
Then at 8:46, the sprayer leaves again, 8:46 a.m.
So from 8:12 to 8:46, sprayer appears to be on the property.
Correct.
All right. Out of all of the footage you watched, did you see Dee Warner on any of it?
No.
Okay, y'all, this is about the time I said I was going to stop. I don't mind if we want to, I just bumped it to 1.5 speed. If y'all want to continue and get this last hour in, let me know in the chat if we need to continue. And if we're going to continue, then I'm good with that. I can adjust, but then we'll be all caught up and ready to go for what might happen tomorrow. So let me know in the chat. Oh, hey, Kelly Bean. Thanks for popping in. Okay, I've got it at 1.5, so the hour shouldn't take an hour. So, okay. I got 2 that you're down for it, so let's hit
Did you also watch footage from April 27th, 2021?
Yes.
Why?
On April 27, 2021, that is when that body cam footage was, when I saw the tank initially. They were searching the property. And then at some point they were asked to leave. They returned later with a search warrant for the property. So I knew the tank was there on the 27th, so I to confirm what happened with it.
Okay, and did you end up confirming what happened with it?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you People's Exhibit 62. This is 4/27 at 8:55 p.m. Are you familiar with that vehicle?
I in this, but that's a GMC pickup truck belonging to the defendant's son, Jack Warner.
Oh, yeah.
And you said you watched this to determine what happened to that tank that night.
Correct.
Oh, you know Jaron knows what went down. You know he does. He's got to know something.
4/27/2021 at 8:37.
Hey, Ann, thanks for joining us. We're going all the way. We're just going to do it.
Again, that's the still we just looked at from 855.
Yes, that's
correct?
Sharon Warner's truck pulling in.
Okay. $857 up at Old Tanks.
Yes, that's the
Old
same,
Shop Fuel Tanks. I'm sorry.
the same truck going into the dry barn where the drone operators are when they return for the search warrant.
I was going to say, this is
Dry
when
barn,
they're
it's right here.
doing the drone, and he's moving all kinds of stuff all over the place. But guess what? I don't know if you can see, propane tank or the anhydrous tank is still over here for now. Oh boy, are we going to go see him get rid of it? Oh, please, yes. Oh Lord, you're like a gift that keeps on giving, Dale. And there it is. Wow. Just wow. I mean, I know we saw this before, but I didn't have all of the pieces
Is that what you
all
were just talking about?
put
Yes.
together quite yet. Wow, he moved
On April 25th, I'm going to go back to April 25th,
Body-
2021 briefly.
in that tank while they were there.
Were you able to identify the people that you observed on the footage?
Yes.
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, who was all on the property?
The people who responded because Dee was missing were daughter Raquel, son Zach, son TJ, her cousin Parker, Shelly Hardy, who's her sister-in-law. They were all in the office area. Ivan Boyd and his brother were in the old shop working. A couple of truck drivers came in, then left, dropped the trucks off, and then left.
Okay. Did you observe them stay for any period of time?
No, they just basically dropped and went.
Okay. And those truck drivers, we'll strike that. Did you see Todd Narick on the property that day?
I did.
All right. Anybody else?
There was another driver who got the load off. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Okay.
These are very briefly.
Did you do anything else after finding Dee Warner's body?
Yeah, after we found her body, based on the condition we found her in, we executed a search warrant, another search warrant on the farm to look for evidence associated with how she was disposed of.
All right. And do you recall when you did that?
I believe she was looking on August 17th, and we executed a search warrant on August 22nd. So,
When you say the Munger farm, are you talking about the same farm over
yes,
here?
the Munger
All
farm.
right. What types of items were you looking for?
We were looking for tarps, duct tape, paint, decals for a tank, any items that were associated with the tank or the manner in which she was her body was located in.
Did you go over there with, was it just you or a whole group of people?
Oh no, we executed a search warrant, so we had a whole crew of people.
Have you executed search warrants before?
Oh yeah.
How many of them you think?
In my career?
Yeah.
Oh, hundreds. Yeah.
When you got to the Munger property, what'd you do?
Well, with any search warrant, first thing we did, we secured the property. We had uniformed troopers with us. We staged them at the entrances of the property so no one could come or go without getting past the troopers. We made contact with all the people on the farm and made sure that they couldn't move off the property. And we usually have someone photograph everything exactly how it was when we found it when we got there, before we even start searching.
When you're searching, there's multiple people doing the search, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you're not necessarily the one taking in everything, correct?
Correct.
All right. I am going to have Detective Sergeant Juror get out exhibits 112, 113.
We're going to zippity doo dah here because I think they're going to be getting their life in
Exhibits
order.
113, 239.
Oh, it's paint.
Don't
Oh.
say anything.
I promise.
Oh, and paint sticks too.
Okay.
I didn't have this on my
I'm
bingo
gonna have you
card
go and take
either.
Samples first.
Okay.
Find the stick labeled 1.
Okay.
So did you at some point after executing the search warrant come back and take some samples?
Yes, we had the lab come out and take paint samples off the tank itself. And then they requested any paint that we found on the property to take samples of that, submitted to the lab so they could do comparison.
Okay, so paint was seized from the Munger property and placed in the property room with MSD?
Correct.
All right, and how many samples did you take?
Well, there were 3 white paint cans, and then there was a Tupperware container with white paint in it as well.
Okay,
That was seized from the property.
all right. And so the paint samples that you took were from the items that are up here on the counter. All right, can you? Yeah.
You just had to make that last question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
I forgot the question.
I believe it was these paint samples that I took came from these items.
Yes.
Yes.
So you have 4 sticks and 3 cans
Four.
of paint and 1 paint in a container.
Correct.
Essentially. Okay. Can I have you identify which sample goes with which paint can, and do it by exhibit number, please?
Sure. So exhibit 236 is a Rust-Oleum paint can, and I marked it with a 1 on the label and put my initials on it. Use a stir stick, just a common stir stick, to stir it up. This was how the lab told me to do it. Stirred it to make sure it was mixed. Got a good sample of it. And I also marked the stick with 1. And after it was dried, I put it into a sealed container with a description of the can.
Okay. What about the next stick and the next can, please?
You'll see a number 2 there with my initials, and a number 2 on the paint stick. I did the same thing, started up with the paint stick, and took a sample, left it to dry, and then sealed it in a bag.
Can you read me the exhibit sticker from the stir stick?
I apologize.
That's okay.
The can is 113,
Okay.
is number 2, and the exhibit sticker for the sample is 296.
All right.
Third
one, go ahead.
Number 3, that I wrote on there with my initials, and number 3 on the paint stick, the stir stick. Again, same process. I stirred it up, took a good sample, let it dry, sealed it in. The can is exhibit 112, and the sample is exhibit 297. And I sealed it in a bag with a description of the can. The container with the paint is exhibit 299. Again, I opened that. Mark number 4 on the paint stick. And again, I stirred it up, took a sample. After it dried, I sealed it in a bag with a description of where it came from.
What did you do with those samples once you took them from the can?
Once I took them from the can, I took them to the Michigan State Police East Lansing Crime Lab and dropped them off because they already had their paint samples there. So,
And then you retired shortly after, correct?
and then that was one of my last duties before I retired. Yes.
Okay.
He looks too young to be retired. It's because I'm
Can you go back
old.
to exhibit the stick number 1 and tell me the exhibit number?
Exhibit 239.
And the can was 236, correct?
Yes.
All right. And the stick that's labeled 4,
Um,
I have the can. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. The container for 4 is 299,
What's the stick?
and the stick is 298.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Oh boy. Oh, the rest is going to be cross-examining time. Oh, don't please tell me it's not going to be sharts. It is going to be sharts a lot. Ah! Why?
Good. Oh, I'll wait for you to be done with all your bags.
Why? I sound like Nancy
Good afternoon,
Kerrigan.
Detective Sergeant Singleton. That's still the way to refer to you, even though you're retired, correct?
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay, terrific. Now, you indicated you began working on the case in roughly March of 2022,
Correct.
and that was part of a task force?
Yes, it was. They brought us on to assist, and also the FBI, who had been assisting as well.
So it was the Lenawee County Sheriff's Department, Michigan State Police, and then the FBI. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, it was a loose task force. It was us coming to assist them, basically.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
It was us coming to assist them, basically. I mean, I guess you could call it task force, but
And then officially, the Michigan State Police took over on or about August 9th, 2022,
that's correct.
and that was you and Detective Lieutenant Juror?
Correct.
Did the two of you work at partners? Did you work at his direction? Did he work at yours? How did that work?
Lieutenant Juror is the officer in charge, and I work in his direction.
Okay. Now, I want to get to when you talked about theory of welding.
Mhm.
When did that come up? So let me walk back if you don't mind.
Sure.
When you start in March of 2022, is that when you start reviewing the surveillance footage, the body camera footage, or is that once you start in August of 2022?
No, it was in March of 2022 when I started reviewing everything. So that included the surveillance video. So
And were you working on this full time?
yes, at that time I was.
So then when you said, essentially there's a welding theory, a theory of welding that comes up. So when does that come up?
It was fairly early on. I mean, based on that video where he was checking the welder and he was appeared to be a little frightened of the sound or something of that nature, we started to see that he was making contact with things that were associated with welding. So the official theory, I mean, at that point we said there's something with welding here, but we just weren't sure what yet. So it was still early.
So is that maybe like March or April of 22? There's something with welding, but you're not sure what it is?
I don't know if it was that early, but it was probably like April, May. Yeah.
Okay. Would you pull up that snip, Ms. Saylor, of Mr. Warner? I want to ask you a question about this. This is when he's in the shop.
And he gets caught. And he's ducking, bobbing and weaving. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, coast is clear.
You said,
I'm good.
thank you. Said he moved in a suspicious manner and crouched down. What about that is suspicious?
To me, it just looked like as he was looking at whether he heard something, I knew that nobody else was on property at that point. And he just seemed startled and was looking out and trying to duck out of view.
What's funny is that she's trying to make this like it isn't a big deal, that his behavior isn't odd, or that there isn't anything that you should call your attention to it. But we all watched this together, and I immediately was like, dude looks like he was trying to hide. And then everybody in the chat was like, yeah, it looked like he was trying to like duck down or something. So ma'am, it's not going to work. We got it.
Duck out of view. Would you play that again?
Oh, lady. Oh boy. Oh.
Thanks. Thank you. So you said you didn't think anyone else was on the property at that time.
Correct.
And then Mr. Warner presumably hears a noise or something, right?
Correct.
Goes like this to look at it. I mean, is that about the motion?
Well, he stepped behind the truck and then kind of ducked down.
Well, you said, okay, go back for me, if you will.
He
You
would
said
be
crouch
out
down or
of
duck
view.
down. To me, this is bending at the waist. So I'm curious what you think is the crouching or ducking.
Oh my gosh. This is the hill she wants to
stop
die
right there?
on?
Do you think he's fully behind that truck?
I don't know what he's looking at, but he made a definite side step behind the truck.
Mhm.
I don't know what he was doing, but it struck me as he seemed startled
Odd.
by something outside.
Okay, so you watch that. I just want to make sure you view that as him being startled, crouching
Uh-huh.
down, ducking down behind the truck.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then he goes back to doing whatever he's doing.
Yeah, it just, at the time, it
Yes.
struck me. I mean, it was early on in the investigation. We didn't know what happened. I was still investigating,
We all believe that.
everything. So, but that just stood out to me in the video. One of those things to mark and check on later.
Did you ask him? Because you interviewed him for a few hours in December of 2022, right?
Yes,
And that was with Detective Lieutenant Juror, correct?
Correct.
And his lawyer was there at the time?
correct.
Did you talk to him at any other time?
I mean, when we were doing search warrants on the property, we had casual contact with each other during those search warrants.
Did you ever ask him to come in for an interview and he didn't?
No, not to come in for an interview, no.
So you've got this, what you deem to be suspicious crouching from a startling noise. And then you sort of said, boy, I wonder about that. Did you ask him in December, hey, listen, I'm going to show you this. What were you doing?
Yeah, no, we did not ask him that. There was so much in that 2 hours that we did cover. That is not something that that we asked him at that
So
time.
you just ran out of time?
No, it was just, there was other important matters. Like I said, this just struck me as initially, it was kind of a light bulb, like, maybe I better check on that
Us
later. It wasn't
too.
the aha moment we were looking for or anything like that.
Right, you agree it's not the aha moment, correct?
It's a moment that caused me to look further into that theory.
And a moment that you never bothered to ask him about, or his lawyer at the time, Mr. Lee, right? It's cross-examination.
But that doesn't allow you to be argumentative.
So,
Oh,
You have asked that question already.
okay.
oh, y'all. She was put in her place by Judge Olsaver. That doesn't give you the right to be argumentative. Did you all hear that? Oh, Kelly Bean. Thank you so much. You so did not need to do that, but I absolutely appreciate your super. Thank you so much. We got to back this up. We got to back this up.
So,
Into that theory.
in a moment that you never bothered to ask him about, or his lawyer at the time, Mr. Lee, right? It's cross-examination.
But that doesn't allow you to be argumentative.
So,
And you have asked that question already.
okay. So welding theory comes up in about April of 2022. Did you ever, moving on from asking him about the crouching, did you ever ask him about, were you welding? And if so, what were you doing?
Like I said, back then, initially, when I saw that, that's kind of when it appeared. We didn't have, obviously, the tank, the body, how it was disposed of, things like that. So we didn't ask him everything about everything at that point during that interview.
So is the answer to my question, you never asked him about what he was doing as it relates to possibly welding, doing as it relates to looking at tools, taking tools, anything like that on April 25th, 2021?
No, the welding theory didn't come to fruition until we found the body. So it was not something that we were actively looking at that point.
So again, is the answer no, you never asked him about it?
No.
And then so the theory comes about in April of 2022. You don't ask about it. When do you look at that? Are you the one who looked at the body camera and said, boy, I think that's a non-factory well?
I had seen the photos of the tank that her body was recovered in, and I saw the photos of it prior to that. So when I saw that body cam, it definitely appeared to me as the same tank, but I am no expert in welding. But it appeared to me it was discolored. The line was discolored, so it piqued my curiosity.
When? So I'm not asking about after she was discovered and you saw that tank. So you have a welding theory beginning of August of 2022. You're watching the body camera of Detective Greca on April 27, 2021, correct?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Right. When do you look at that and think that looks like a repair weld? That's actually the term used by Mr. Schmidt, the welding gentleman. So when do you think that looks like a repair weld?
Engineer,
Um,
welding.
Like I said,
engineer.
like I testified earlier, when you have context later after we found the tank,
It's all good, Kelly. We're not going
and then
anywhere.
I rewatched the video. That's when it kind of like, oh,
You're probably on
that
Eastern
appears to
time.
me.
It's late.
And I don't know
here.
repair welds from a regular weld, but it didn't look like a normal tank that I'd seen before.
So how would you think to look at the tanks? If you're saying it only kind of, that light bulb moment, according to you, is after the tank is found and she's in it.
By the way, we have less than 30 minutes. So
How does anyone think to look at the tanks?
Oh, initially why we looked at the tank.
Right.
We had this welding theory. There was, there was other things throughout the investigation that kind of said, yeah, we should start, after things calmed down on certain things, we said we need to go back and make sure we cross all our T's and dot all our I's. That's when we decided, Detective Lieutenant Juror decided, let's locate all these tanks that he has and see if we can see anything.
So when was that?
That was shortly before her body was found.
Would that have been August of 2024?
Yes.
So I just want to make sure I'm clear on the timing. So April 2022, you have this theory of welding. You investigate for the next couple of years. Then in August of 2024, Detective Lieutenant Juror says you should look at these tanks. Was it because there was a issue with a non-factory weld or repair weld that someone observed, or was it just we want to look at all of these tanks?
No, up to that point, we didn't know she was in a tank, but we had seen internet searches about how to bury an anhydrous tank. So up to a certain point, we felt that perhaps it was, she was buried. I mean, the working theory is that she was buried somewhere. It wasn't until August of 24th, there was kind of a moment of, okay, let's step back
Clarity.
and take a look at everything. And Detective Lieutenant Juror came up with the idea, hey, let's take a look at these tanks. If there's, so yes, that's kind of when the theory of, well, maybe it's not underground, maybe it's above ground. And that's when that started.
And so then is that in a
It
meeting
was.
the two of you have or with other people where he has that theory and then you determine how to act on that?
Yeah, I mean, we chat and collaborate all the time, but
So he has the theory in August of 2024, hey, let's take a look at these tanks. And let's say there are roughly 40 of them, right? Well, how many of them do you think there are?
I'm not sure. He handled most of that.
Okay, so I'll ask him next week. But so let's say there's roughly 40. Were you looking at a particular tank or was it just let's look at all these tanks?
Again, to be clear, I was not there for the search of the tanks, but it was to identify where he keeps his tanks, how many of there were, if there was paperwork. They told us how many tanks there were, see if there were any unaccounted for, that kind of thing.
So and that was a search of the Paragon property, and then was it also a search of the Munger property?
I was out of town during that
Okay.
time, so I'm not exactly sure. I know there were a couple different properties where these tanks were held.
So to your knowledge, there was a search of all the various properties where tanks were held.
Correct.
And it was not sort of in search of a particular tank, but it was looking at all the tanks to see if there was something that was unusual. And if that's not fair or that's not accurate, let me know.
No, my understanding, it was a search for, to take a look at all the tanks in general.
Had anyone told you a particular tank to look for? So a family member, anything like that, or this was just you're looking at all these tanks?
No, it was just that we decided at that point to take a look at these tanks.
And you indicated, so when you were looking at that repair well, that non-factory well, you're looking at the body camera after the tank was found, and then that's when you're like, okay, I think that might be the tank. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say. Yes.
Thank you. Now, going back a bit, you said that there had been a search of the Paragon property, and I know you answered this to Ms. Wise, but so if you're driving down the road, there's Paragon north to your right and then Paragon south to your left. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And Paragon south is where there's the structure, and then there are tanks that were there.
Correct.
And then Paragon north, do you know, were both sides searched at one point? Not when the tank was found where Ms. Warner was, but prior to that, were both sides of Paragon searched?
I'm not sure before we got involved in the investigation when there were searches, if both sides were searched. I know the north side was. I wasn't there when they searched the Paragon property, so I'm just not sure if that included the south or not.
Sure. So then you said that there was a search of Munger, and that would have been in May 2023, and not just Munger, but this massive search. Is that accurate?
Correct.
And then, do you know, was Mr. Warner allowed to stay on the Munger property, or was he, while there was a search there, or was he instructed to leave?
No, we didn't want him working on any of the properties that we were searching.
Okay. So he's multiple searches, then he is told to leave, and so he leaves any of the property that's being searched, correct? Is that accurate?
Correct.
And then I want to make sure I just have this correct. Then he goes to Paragon North and is doing work there, because that's not an area that's being searched at the time.
Yeah, to be clear, let me correct myself. I don't believe the Munger address itself was part of that search.
Okay.
It was just fields surrounding it. So no, we would not necessarily have him leave his house at that point, because we were searching fields behind it or adjacent to it. But he could still have control over his own property.
So, but he couldn't do any work on any of the fields. So if he had to plow, plant, fertilize, do anything, he couldn't do that.
Correct.
Okay. So he went to a property that, at least at that time, was not going to be searched, and that was the Paragon North property.
He had no way of knowing what was going to be searched and what was not going to be searched.
Okay, so he had no way of knowing what was going to be searched or what wasn't going to be searched.
No.
So he goes to do work on the Paragon North
That's what he
property,
just
and then
said.
that's when a search warrant was ultimately obtained for that property. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it was on our radar, but because it had been searched before, we weren't sure if we were going to search it again. But because that's where he responded to when we were searching, it was just one more thing that kind of pushed it over the edge that we should probably search that.
And when that property was searched, you said it was
Interesting.
excavated. So is that like a big, huge machine, and they're like digging up dirt and looking under the ground?
Yes.
And nothing was found there, correct?
Correct.
Now, you had indicated that Mr. Warner asked sort of, what are you doing, right? And you have to answer yes.
I'm sorry,
no for the
yes.
record. No, that's okay. You've been doing great. And then he offered to stay if needed. Is that something? What exactly did he say?
I believe he offered to use his equipment and dig for us.
Okay. And then you said no, thank you.
Yeah, correct.
Right. And then he went on about his way, and nothing again was found at that property.
Well,
On the north, on the Paragon North, on the
no.
excavation.
No.
He's like, actually, yeah, it was
When
found.
you when you said that you had noticed on the surveillance camera he got, for example, an angle grinder, things like that, did you know that based on just your experience, or did somebody have to tell you what that was?
The angle grinder I knew. Some of the other stuff I wasn't quite familiar with. I'm not a farm guy. I'm not a welding guy. So, but I knew an angle grinder
Either,
angle
but
grinder
we're-
before I know the purpose.
We know a lot more now. We know about plasma
Thank you.
cutters and everything.
Now, throughout your investigation, you did other things as well, correct?
Correct.
I mean, lots of other things.
Correct.
So, and we only talked about just a few of them. But so, for example, when Ms. Warner's body was found, her fingernail clippings were taken, correct?
I assume so. Yes.
Would you like to see a report that says so if you need to refresh your memory?
For sure. Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Zippity doo
You
dah,
fingernail clippings too?
zippity yay.
Her fingernail clippings were taken, correct?
Correct.
You also, moving on to the paint that you seized, you went in 2024 and took those 3 paint cans, correct?
Correct.
And then that container, that little Tupperware type container of paint.
Correct.
And you also said you were looking for things like blue tarps and duct tape, those sorts of things, correct?
Correct.
What, were you surprised to see paint on a farm?
No, not necessarily.
Would you be surprised if you had found duct tape, tarps, anything like that on a farm?
No, I wasn't surprised that we find them.
Did you know, or do you know, when that paint was purchased?
I do not.
Because you are seizing it in 2024, correct?
Correct.
And do you know where anything else was purchased? Tarps, duct tape, anything like that that you were looking for?
No.
Sometimes her questions.
Finally, during the course of the investigation on October 12th, 2022, you met with Greg Hardy, who is Ms. Warner's brother, right?
October 12th, 2022. I mean, I would take your word for it.
Okay,
Yes.
if you want to see, do you want to see a report?
No, I take your word for
Okay.
it. That was a date I did meet with him. Yes.
And I'm correct, Mr. Hardy, Greg Hardy is Ms. Warner's brother, correct?
Correct.
Now, he had provided a thumb drive with some recordings on it, right?
Correct.
Do you remember the incident I'm talking about?
Yes.
And you took that thumb drive because you thought it might be important to the investigation?
Correct.
He had indicated essentially he hired somebody to do some interviews and he was handing that to law enforcement, correct?
Correct.
And again, you took it. Did you download it or anything at that time, or you didn't have time?
No, when I met him, he handed me a thumb drive.
Okay.
With the audio interviews on them.
And then what did Mr. Hardy do after that?
He wanted to sit down and talk to me further.
Did he ultimately revoke consent for you to be able to, the police to view those interviews?
Yes.
How did he do that?
He sent me a text message saying that he wants his thumb drive. He changed his mind. He wants his thumb drive back, and that we didn't have permission to take them or to listen to them.
Did you give him that thumb drive back?
No.
Did you keep that text message from Mr. Hardy?
I memorialized it in my report. I put it in my report that that occurred, and then I changed search warrant to search the thumb drive anyway, make a copy of it, and then kept that for evidence.
Did you tell him why you weren't going to give it back to him? So, for example, he said something, and again, we don't have the text message, so I'm paraphrasing, but he essentially says, I'm revoking consent. I don't want you to look at those interviews. Did you respond back and say, I'm getting a search warrant, or did you just ignore it, or how did you respond?
No, I did. I said that I was not going to give it back, and we would, I had obtained it legally. Now to search it with the revoked consent, I went ahead and got a search warrant. So I told him that I would get a search warrant, make a copy of it, and return his original to him.
You talked about Mr. Warner kind of being suspicious when he heard a noise and ducked down. What did you think of that when Mr. Hardy revoked consent?
I mean, prior to that, when we were discussing at his farm after he gave it to me, we had a disagreement about the certain aspects of the investigation. I believe I don't recall exactly what it was about, but he was frustrated. I mean, he's frustrated. His sister's missing.
So I'm going to stop you right there only because it's non-responsive to my question.
His answer was not talking about what he thought about that. He was going in a different direction. So I was making sure he understood.
Thank you. So Detective Sergeant Singleton, I'm just going to kind of narrow you in.
Sure.
And we don't have a recording of that exchange. Would you agree?
Agree.
Between you and Mr. Hardy?
Correct.
And that's because you chose not to record it.
Yeah, it was not an interview.
Sure. And again, I'm just saying, so you're trying to go back off of memory or so I just want to ask, when he revoked consent, did you view that as suspicious?
Based on the conversation I'd had with him prior and the information I have, it didn't surprise me that he did.
It didn't surprise you that he said he had valuable information to the investigation, but then says, but I don't want you to take a look at it?
He didn't say it was valuable information. He said, I have these interviews. Would you like them? Any interviews of particular witnesses, I want all of them. So he didn't portray it to me as he has valuable evidence, but I requested them and he gave them to me.
I don't find
He
it
was upset that
suspicious.
we had a disagreement.
Nope.
And after I left the farm is when I got the text message.
He might not have used the word valuable, but he thought it was important enough to get it to you, correct?
I requested it, yes.
Right. Sure.
Yep.
And you thought it was important enough to take it.
Sure. I collect all the information. It doesn't matter if I feel it's important or not. If there's information, especially witness interviews, I'll take it.
And then he's the one who said, I don't want you to look at it, prompting you to get the search warrant. I'm just trying to get that timeline go. So then he's the one who said, I don't want you to look at it, and that prompted you to get the search warrant.
Correct.
I have no additional questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh. All right, let me do zippity. Oh no, she's got redirect. My bad. I'm getting all
Correct me if I'm wrong,
excited
but,
here.
On cross-examination, did you indicate that the defendant was asked to leave at least one other property in the during the May 2023 search warrants?
I'm sorry. Was he asked to leave?
Any other property besides the Paragon property?
I don't recall if he showed up at any other properties. I wasn't at every property that was being searched at the time.
Okay, so the only one you knew that you have knowledge about is showing up at Paragon.
Right.
Okay. You indicated that you had a welding theory kind of early on based on the welding stuff, and you indicated an internet search?
Correct.
Okay. And all of the searches that you did on the properties associated with the defendant, were those focused underground?
Yeah, for the most part, based on those internet searches of how to bury an anhydrous ammonia tank after she was missing, our working theory was that she was buried somewhere.
If that search was actually not how to bury it, but what to do with an old tank, do you recall that search?
No.
Okay. If we had somebody that has already testified that that was the search, did you watch any videos associated with that?
No, the finding of that issue
Was Detective
was
Drury?
Detective Drury.
Okay, so you're not the one that found that.
I
That
found
was
the
just
text. I was shown it later.
okay. All right,
Or the search, I'm sorry.
that's okay. Just want clarification. Prior to being involved in this case, did you know Dale Warner?
No.
Did you know Dee Warner?
No.
Did you know Greg Hardy?
No.
Did you know any of the Hardy family?
No.
During an interview of a suspect, is it normal not to ask every single question?
Yeah, it's perfectly normal. Yeah, it's normal.
Nothing further.
Nothing additional. Thank you.
And are we using,
Yes, yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
No recross. Okay, see? We hung out just a little bit longer and we got all the testimony in. Let me zippity doo dah because I know.
Don't leave.
I feel like when I watched this at the end of the day, when I was trying to get my life in order, there was something else that went on. So bear with me. I'm going to get us to a point. I think I am anyway.
again after Dee's body was found. We have a few questions from
All right. Questions from the jury.
we have a few questions from the jury. The first is, was Dale interviewed again after Dee's body was found?
We attempted.
Right. So
Yeah, you can answer that yes or no without further elaboration.
Oh, sorry. No.
The next question is, Was it determined how much money he had in her accounts after she went missing? If so, how much was that?
Sorry, I did look at that. I did note that from the top of my head. I can't recall. There was money left behind in accounts that belonged to her that if you're bleeding forever, that you would have taken.
Objection. That goes far afield of the question and is also speculative. I think the question was how much was in the accounts. And that, if he doesn't remember, that's an acceptable answer to talk about anything else. Again, it is improper.
I'll follow up. I agree that you can strike the rest of that. I'll follow up.
I do think that the portion of the answer regarding how much person was taking is speculative. And so we'll strike that answer and direct her not to consider that portion of the answer. Next question is, if there was a search warrant for the property on April 27th, how could Dale say not to search certain areas?
So to clarify, the sheriff's department went to the property and was conducting a search earlier in the day. That's where that body cam was from. Then they were bringing the drone and dogs out. And when that occurred, Mr. Warner revoked consent to search that property. So the law enforcement left. When you're on consent, he can consent for you not to search
Yes
certain
or
things.
no.
They left, got a search warrant, came back to the property. Then there's no limiting of anything. So they can search anything they want.
Okay, and for the last question, I want to know the answer to the time of her disappearance. The question is, was there a life insurance policy in whose name? If so, then no amount.
Yes, there was, and I do not recall the amount.
All right, Ms. Wise, do you have any further questions for Detective Smith?
I do, as it relates to the bank accounts of Ms. Warner that you were looking at, was her personal accounts that she had access to, were they being used after April 25th, 2021?
No.
We just talked about search warrants, executing search warrants. When you're executing a search warrant, do you call the party that you're going to go do the search on and tell them that you're 20 minutes out or that you're on the way?
No.
Thank you.
I have nothing additional. Thank you.
Oh, another one? Another juror question. Shut up.
We seized the. Yes, the lab came out after we seized the tank, and they took scrapings of the tank in certain locations. That's all lab stuff that they did. I observed them do that, and then that's when they requested that I take samples from the ones that we'd seized at the property.
You can further Ms. Wise. Sure.
No, thank you.
So we have no other questions from the jurors, so you are excused at this point.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Must have been a question about.
Breaking at this point, we will resume tomorrow morning, hopefully at 9 a.m. My goal is to start these one day at 9 a.m. So we'll do our best. So if you'll be here before 9 a.m., we'll do our best to start at 9. And during the trial, do not read, listen to, or watch any news reports about the case.
He's a quite easy man to. He's very likable, is what I'm trying to say. So, okay. We got through it all, y'all. It's not quite 9:30. I appreciate you hanging with me through all of this. I don't know what's going to happen with tomorrow. So stay on standby. My plan is that we will do Friday's testimony starting at 8:30 on Saturday morning. If I find out at the end of the day tomorrow that there is no court on Monday, we will do Friday's testimony on Monday evening. So everyone will have the weekend. So depending on what Judge Olsaver says tomorrow at the end of the day, we will either be live streaming Saturday morning at 8:30 Central Time, or if he says, hey, I've got other cases, the courtroom has to be used for all of those other cases on Monday, then we will be live streaming Monday night instead. Make sure you have your notifications on because I will send it out through YouTube. If you're on the Twix, I will also post what I'm going to be doing on there tomorrow afternoon because I got to get my nails done tomorrow. Ms. D's got to get all purdied up. I got to be feeling good about myself. So you are very welcome, Jillian, for hanging with me and staying late. But so I thank everybody. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Replay crew, thank you so much. Drop me a comment. Happy to have you. And we will be back, same bat channel, either Saturday morning at 8:30 Central Time or Monday evening at 6 o'clock Central Time, depending on whether Judge Olsaver will have this trial in his courtroom on Monday or if he doesn't. So, good night, everybody. Remember, it doesn't cost a penny to be kind. So, find someone to do something nice for today if you haven't already. And always, always